Howdy and welcome to Clash Masters! Thank you all so much for joining us today where we have some amazing wars for you to enjoy. My name's Woody and I'm pleased to be joined by the formidable Itsu. Itsu, how are you feeling today, my friend? I know you're a little under the weather.
Yeah, but really hyped for the matches, so I think this is pushing me up again, getting those matches underway. But before we're going into the action, we want to take a look at the format. How is this tournament structured? What can you expect from today and moving forward? So let's take a look at the format, how everything is working. We have 4 weeks of competition. It's 3 match days each week. And then we have, after those 4 weeks, the top 8 getting into the playoffs. We had our first 3 open qualifiers where we had 4 teams getting their way into the playoffs. But now we are in the last chance qualifier, and with this, everything is on the line for those teams because every team making it into the top 4 is getting into the playoffs as well. So Woody, this is going to be important 2 match days for those clans getting further into the playoffs.
That's right, Itsu. We're in our 4th and final week of the qualifiers. With 4 teams already there, it's just 1 war that separates the remaining teams competing in the last chance qualifier today and a chance at the playoffs. This has been a very exciting first day, and we are now going into the second day where our 4 wars today, each one of them will be decisive in determining which clans will join the remainder in the playoffs. So we have got another day of competition tomorrow even that will have additional seeding for the 4 teams that make it through today. But really, it's all about today. It's all about making it to the top 4 in this last chance qualifier so that for the playoffs, they have a chance to compete for that silver wildcard ticket for the Clash of Clans World Championship and the big remaining chunk of that $20,000 prize pool that was allocated for this event. So we're very excited to share the team's chances of winning. So the qualifiers have already had all their prizes claimed. We're just looking right now at the playoffs, which are going to be taking place next week, where first place will get $5,000 and that silver wildcard ticket for the Clash of Clans World Championship that we talked about, Itsu.
Yeah, that's right. And if you're wondering, well, there are so many teams already in there which have already maybe earned the golden ticket for the Clash World Championship. Well, don't worry, this silver ticket is going to get handed down to the first team in this seeding which has no silver ticket yet. So it's not going to be wasted at all. And I think as well, we should take a look maybe at the leaderboards of the teams which already made it into the qualifiers because into the playoffs, as we said, we had already 4 teams qualifying with those first 3 qualifiers, collecting points. And we had Nishang and Dance with 28 points over those 3 weeks. Queen Walkers with 23 points. And Space Station 21, HC Family 20 points. And Alternate did not make it, but they're still in this last chance qualifier. So let's see if they can make it into the top 4 and get into those playoff spots, which, as you said, Woody, everyone is looking for because this is where the big money is on the line.
Oh yeah, Alternate Attacks as the reigning world champions not qualifying for this event really indicates the strength of the field and the 4 teams that did make it through. Now, we'll give them a shot because, hey, they've made it to the quarterfinals today. So if Alternate Attacks wins their last war, they will indeed qualify for the Clash Masters playoffs. But those other 3 teams that you saw on the leaderboard that had competed in the 3 prior weeks, MCES, RTK, KOG, all 3 of those clans competed in this last chance qualifier and were eliminated. I think that really speaks to the strength of this last chance qualifier field. The teams knowing that this is their only final chance to make it through to the playoffs. They are giving it their all, and we are going to see it all on the battlefield in just a few short minutes.
Yeah, that's right. The players are getting ready. Obviously, we need to give them some time of planning, which is already quite short. Like if you're out there and doing your normal clan wars, which is like 24 hours of planning typically, or you could use those 24 hours. But those players, for those matches and those attacks which you're about to witness in just a couple of seconds, they have around about 8 minutes to plan. And this is not a lot. And I think obviously as a team, as a base builder, you can have some small mind games with this as well, because most of the time those teams have to go for the first idea they have, first plan they see on a certain base, and make it somehow work. The next thing, we have our first match, which is going to be Alternate versus King Circle. And two interesting scores, I want to say, leading into this matchup, because Alternate just won, and I have to take a look at the stats, 15-9. I had to look twice, because a lot of people are saying meta, turn 14 right now is a little bit easy, but this score is not showing that 15-9, or maybe it's showing it because one score is pretty high, the other not too high. The other team, King Circle, won 12-10 against Unicorns of Love Jinx. And now we are in, Musk is in with the Queen Charge Dragon Rider. So let's see how he's going to approach this. He has only one Super Wall Breaker, which is not that much, to be honest. Like, typically we see 3-4 Super Wall Breakers. But in this one, Woody, there's only one Super Wall Breaker in there, most likely for the Town Hall compartment.
Yeah, I really just have to highlight that fact that you just shared with us. A 15-9 scoreline is a +6 star differential for alternate attacks coming into the second round today. That is the biggest that we have seen from the entire Clash Masters tournament from all of the weeks of competition. So hats off to alternate attacks for being able to pull off such an incredible victory coming in today. They are certainly a favorites as the reigning world champions, but they have been taken down before. RTK got a victory over them, and now it's up to King Circle to try to hold the line against a massive offensive squad charging in at the Town Hall in the left side corner. Queen gets the pop, and with the invisibility spell, she is well protected from that Inferno damage. Gets the first star claimed, and Mask is already through the first minute of this attack. Itsu, he's shaping up for the Dragon Rider strike. Where's it coming in from?
I think he's going to target the scatter shot at the core right side, I want to say. That's where the first Loon is going. Already seeking for some black mines right there. Because take a look at the sweeper. The sweeper is pointing towards the top side, which means this sweeper is going to be completely useless against this approach. There's the slammer targeting that scatter shot. The Queen is staying alive for now inside that NATO trap. We have now the Dragon Riders coming in from the right side, Woody. And to be honest, with that Queen staying alive, this is looking good.
Yeah, the skeleton trap was distracting her, but Mask dropped a free spell there to shut down the Inferno Tower, protect that Queen, and ensure that she will continue along her charge. Dragon Riders are soaring in from the top, one of the strongest offensive units in the game right now. Very popular in the current metagame, and for good reason. Targeting enemy defenses and raining down lots of damage. Very beefy, heavy targets to take out. And Mask, with just under a minute left, is looking cleared for landing. Seeking out that 3-star, he has to destroy every building out there to get the job done, and he is not going to be happy with anything short of that. Queen's getting stuck on a wall here, but those Dragon Riders are still going in hard up top. This is going to be a 3-star for sure, Itsu.
Yeah, really good job from Musk right there. And small fun fact, I think it's okay to share this because Alternate share a couple of pictures on their Discord server. Make sure to hop over there. Maybe someone can find the link and post maybe into the chat. But they're right now on vacation, actually, 4 of them. And playing together, obviously, from one place is like one of the coolest things in Clash. And I think everyone is missing that. But yeah, let's see how they can do with this. Maybe extra boost, motivating each other, being able to spot each other way better, because typically you have like this small delay when you're trying to spot your own teammates. But this time around, they just look over the shoulder and say like, okay, you forgot to clean up over there, clean up over there. So looking forward to the next couple of attacks of Alternate, but next is now their enemy team, which is King Circle. So looking forward to see what strategies they're going to bring. We know Alternate is quite creative, but this time around King Circle, looking forward to see what strategies they're going to bring to this match.
Yeah, anyone who is unaware that Clash of Clans is a team esport at this point has not competed at the top levels, because, man, if you are in a match like this, you have either got people screaming in your ear over on Discord, or you've got them looking over your shoulder telling you what to do. You know, clutching your device in your hand, hoping for the best, and having lots of people yelling at you, don't forget this, don't forget that. Very helpful if it's done in the right way, but can be a little nerve-wracking for a newer player. So very happy for Alternate Attacks to be able to get that 3-star right off their first hit, and I think that bodes well for them, that they are mostly all together, able to focus intently on this present task. You know, it's difficult to get together during the global pandemic right now, the circumstances all around that for travel and all, but Clash of Clans is certainly doing a great job bringing people together where possible and helping us to get through it with a little bit of excitement and fun along the way. So let's give a chance to Pocha now from King Circle to set up for his attack. He's brought those Dragon Riders that we came to know and love from that last hit, but he's bringing a hybrid variant here with 4 Dragon Riders, 7 regular dragons storming in from the top left side right out the gate. And they're going to be going in hard with that Eternal Tome protection from the Grand Warden, invincible on their initial strike here, Itsu.
I'm a little bit afraid, I have to say, after this entry, because I watched the stream from ADB earlier. She already showed the first alternate match of the day, and they were defending against this air spam version really well. So I'm kind of afraid of the NATO right being on this track of the blimp. So let's try to follow this blimp, see if it actually reaches the target, because they defended on 2 1-stars. We already mentioned the score, but they defended 2 1-stars. So let's see if the blimp coming in. The blimp is actually reaching the tower, but there is the NATO rotating everything away from the town hall. And I'm already like, like I said it, 1-star might be on the table.
This is how alternate attacks pulled off a 9-star defense in their last war, didn't get tripled a single time, and even managed to get a 1-star off of their opponents. Pocha's not ready to throw in the towel just yet. He sends in the Royal Champion directly for the Town Hall. She gets to lock in there, but she's already used her ability. Giga Inferno's burning her up. She's throwing every single javelin she's got, but she is going down. Can this Archer Queen with the Unicorn get the last bit of damage in there? She's got a little bit of support from that Yak and from the Inferno Dragon, but they are not going to be in there long. Into that Town Hall at half health and with a builder on it is top and back off. I think this might just be the 1-star.
That NATO was incredible. And that queen is not. So, yeah, that NATO pulling away all of those loons in combination with the sweeper, then pushing those loons even further away. That was a brilliant move defending, knowing that their enemies are going to use their those air spamming type of attacks. And if you know those, if you know the approach of them and place the NATO accordingly, because most of those strategies are relying on the blimp actually taking down the town hall. And if that's not going to happen, you have some big problems right there, and we just saw that. So really good 1-star defense for Alternate to start things off, and yet again, we have a 2-star difference only after the first attack. So let's see how this is going to go moving forward, because if King Circle is keep going with those strategies, and I mean, we know Alternate, we know their base building skills, and if they have more of those NATO traps behind the town hall, this might be an interesting road for King Circle. So let's see if they're going to choose maybe different strategies moving forward. Either way, Alternate is going in next. Looking forward for the strategy choice, because Yo-Yo did some crazy Queen Charge Hybrid earlier today already. I think Boom did some Lalo, so looking forward for some crazy attacks from Alternate.
Yeah, right you are. It is going to be an interesting war for King Circle, but I don't want to sugarcoat it at all. Alternate attacks have exploded out the gate with a 2-star advantage. That's often the scoreline that you see at the end of the war, like a 14-12 result. So already having that 2-star advantage, Alternate just gets to coast from here on out. This is smooth sailing from them. Now, we'll give credit to King Circle coming in with an 88% 1-star. It was awfully close to the triple. Being able to use a massive air spam attack like that, it really puts the fire in firepower. Dragons breathing down across an entire wave of the base. But it really leaves you open and vulnerable to those traps. You lack the versatility, the adaptability to respond if you deploy everything right out of the gate. So the fact that that tornado trap was able to spin around and slow down so many air troops at the end really was the denying factor there. Great base building from Alternate attacks. As we'll see now, the Master of Disaster, boom! A world MVP player from the very top skill levels. Can he keep this pressure going with another 3-star strike? He's already claimed the Town Hall, which was far and away outside the base and vulnerable for this strike. Pocha now defending will have to try to hold off against one of the world's best, Itsu.
Yeah, and this Blizzard was quite uncommon. Like, we see those teaser bases, for example, in Legends quite a bit, but he just placed the blimp on the outside of the base just to get that Town Hall and the Clan Castle lure, and he's already fine with that value. I mean, his heroes took down so much. We see the classic Tesla farm on the bottom right defending this Warden Walk from the other side of the base to have, like, P.E.K.K.A. Smash. A little bit more tricky to execute that. Either way, the Lalo is now coming in early into that scatter shot. The multi-inferno tower needs to go down early, but this one, Hound, take a look at that Hound. It lured so many red air bombs with those lava pups. And this base, where is this base going? The loons are just like overwhelming the base, Woody.
It has been annihilated! Itsu, free spells on repeat, haste to keep the balloons on target, and even with an Eagle Artillery, the last main defense still standing, Boom has done it. Splash damage or what? I don't know. That is not going to be enough to deny Boom. He just has to clean up the remaining storages and mines on the outside, and he is going to get that triple, holding on to a swag free spell. He probably could have swagged the second one if he was really feeling ornery about it, but nevertheless, that triple is going to keep alternate attacks far and ahead in the lead. I mean, it is pretty impressive to have a 6-1 scoreline. It doesn't sound like a scoreline at all, really. It sounds like something completely different. So King Circle just really on the back heel and knocked down entirely. I mean, they're not even standing anymore. They're stumbling and on the ground. I hope that they can give us a really impressive performance next and stay with it. But yeah, that 2-star advantage for alternate attacks right in the beginning just seems like it was way too much to ask them to come back from.
Yeah, especially like talking about the mindset and obviously like the how the voice feels after a 1-star early in the match. It's obviously like the motivation is going down. Like all of the teammates, obviously yourself, who got the 1-star as well, is the most upset most likely, but the other teammates obviously as well are not going to be happy with that result. So it's not going to be easy to stay inside the match, like mindset wise, especially if you're going up against alternate who are starting off with 2 3-stars and you started with a 1-star. So that's not easy at all, but I'm thinking it's going to be interesting to see if they're going to change their strategy choices. Say, okay, maybe we don't want to go or keep going with those air attacks and rely on our blimp to actually take down the town hall, because this seems to be a little bit too risky. Maybe they're going with something else. Queen Charge Dragon Rider, maybe Queen Charge Hybrid, things which are less likely and less easier to be baited in this regard when you're relying on the 2nd star overall. Either way, we have the next attack on the way, and we just wait. They keep going with it. We're going to have another air attack. This time around, though, we have the Electro Dragons coming in, which we don't see that often.
Yeah, a bit of an atypical approach here for Ravender Sohu. Now, I gotta say, Alternate Attacks is not an invincible squad. This is a team that lost to RTK last week when they were trying to qualify through the first 3 weeks of competition, and instead are now having to come back in the Last Chance Qualifier. But one of their great strengths is in that adaptability, is in recognizing when they have to put it all on the line and get that win. They have really beefed up their defenses, going from wars where they were getting 3-starred like 4 times to now a war back-to-back where they've started off with 1-star defenses. So Yo-Yo23 is going to be the defender this time, going up against a very familiar type strike. However, Ravender is not going to give away that 1st star from the Town Hall easily. He gets a strike in there early on for the right side corner and is now just focused on the cleanup toward the outer edge. Those Electro Dragons move awfully slow, but if they can get that Chain Lightning value onto multiple key defensive targets, they are really going to be in a good position here. Nice free spells onto the single target Inferno to try to keep those dragons alive a bit longer. Good spread out strike onto the Eagle Artillery over in the left side corner, but it's those air defenses on the backside they're going to give this attack the most trouble. Itsu, can they reach them before the dragons go down?
I think they took down the corner. This is the biggest thing. I thought, at least, because I thought the Royal Champ would be still alive, but the Royal Champ is already down because that was the Tesla form. But at the same time, everything in the core is down, so this is going to be the first 3-star for King Circle, and they did something really smart. Like, typically, you want to have those storages inside the base to make sure that, for example, like Hybrid is getting stalled out, and actually Hybrid, like Miners and Hog Riders, are getting split up. Or, for example, when you're doing the Air Hybrid as well, which is like Dragons and, for example, Dragon Riders, you want to make sure that they're splitting up so the spells are not as effective. And storages are doing that trick. They're making sure that the dragons or the miners are falling behind and being stuck on those storages. But Electro Dragon on the other side, Electro Dragons are loving those storages inside the base, because hitting those storages is giving you incredible chain value. So a really good strategy choice going at this base, and King Circle are coming right back and making sure that the lead is not getting out of hands. It's staying at this 2-star difference, and we have to say, really good E-Dragon attack right there, and making sure that they're getting this first 3-star on the board.
Right, you are it too. An attack like that is almost over before it began, but that doesn't mean that it didn't take a lot of skill in base identification from the attacker. Electro Dragons are not one of the most popular attacks right now. We are certainly seeing so many more Dragon Riders, Inferno Dragons, and even regular dragons flying in from the skies. But having a base with a lot of bulk in the middle like that, with the storages centralized that allow that chain lightning value, is exactly what the Electro Dragon attack is really looking for. Look, it's extremely difficult to build a base that can hold up to any type of attack, and it's really just about making it difficult for the attacker to find out what the best point of entry is. At this point, though, Ravender had the perfect idea with Electro Dragons to get a big, long spread line out of the base. Also even had a really safe entry point because he took down the Town Hall early on, felt confident enough to be able to spend every troop and every spell on the entry point to get maximum damage early on for that strike. It looked a little bit dicey there toward the end as the air defenses were holding up, but when it was all said and done, he did get the 3-star, still holding on to one Electro Dragon at the last point there, and came back with the 3-star after all. Alternate attacks are going to hold on to a 2-star lead in this war, but King Circle are showing that they are not going to go down without a fight. They are getting a big punch right in their second hit here, and who knows, maybe alternate attacks found their first best strikes early on, and they could end up flat-footed with their mid-war and late-war attacks. And maybe King's War gets the comeback now. Maybe this is the attack that we'll be talking about at the end of the day, talking about which team was able to get the big turnaround. On the other hand, I don't think that that's necessarily likely. Alternate Attacks is a team that plays really well to the momentum that they build early in these wars, and Vale is not one to give that up. He's going to be taking a few pop shots over on the right side corner with this Archer Queen, holding on to those 5 healers until he's confident that the entry point is going to be safe for them, and we'll be able to boost in real nice after taking down that first Town Hall star to go in for a Dragon Rider strike, Itsu.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see that King Circle is running those legend type of bases, like those symmetrical diamond-shaped bases, where we typically know that, well, alternate are normally really good against those legend bases because a lot of their players are pushing quite often, so they're used to taking those bases, and Vale now is coming in with this Queen Charge Dragon Rider attack. I think he's going to try to wall break into the second layer, into this core, because just take a look at how much this Queen can reach from this core. All of the X-Bows, the Sweepers, the Multi-Inferno Towers, defending Queen, defending Royal Champion. So the value this Queen can get as soon as she's getting into the core and actually surviving in there. This is obviously a big challenge as well, because not only she can reach everything, but everything can reach her. So it's not going to be easy, but using the Royal Champion as a final tool and making sure that there's less damage on the Queen is a good move. But now with the Eagle, he needs to get started soon with the Dragon Riders to split up some damage, and there we go, right at the top right side. He's saving the blimp for now, maybe for the single Inferno Tower in the core. We have to see and wait where that blimp and where that siege machine is getting used, or maybe he just wants to swag it. Let's see what the plan is about.
Brilliant double entry point for Vale Harris. The Archer Queen uses that Royal Cloak protection right in the center of the base to top down 2 enemy heroes. The enemy Queen and Royal Champion have been neutralized, and it is all about these Dragon Riders now. Pop, pop, one goes down to the air defense. Boom, another one takes the hit from the Seeking Air Mine, and that is a big offensive drop from Vale's attack. But do not worry, because he has got a plan for everything. He's got the Stone Slammer now moving in against that Eagle Artillery, gets the drop, and with a free spell on that single target Inferno, he is going to be cleared for the last stage of this strike. A big compartment in the bottom left side of the base, but not too much for this Archer Queen to deal with. She gets the lock early onto that scatter shot, and with a few more shots off, will take down the Wizard Tower and air defense. This base has been flattened, Itsu.
Yeah, that was a really beautiful charge. Like, as we said, she can reach so much from in there, and then making sure that those Dragon Riders are just pushing through. Really nicely done. Really nicely done by Alternate, by Vale, and they're getting in their next 3-star. So far, they are 3 out of 3. It's not easy. Like, if there's any possibility for King Circle to come back, like maybe a defense or something, like, just give them the hope of coming back. But Alternate is like, hey, you had your chance, just go perfect as well, and you will have your chance, maybe in time or something. But so far, Alternate is just looking unstoppable. So let's see if King Circle is staying in this and what the next strategy might be, because so far they used twice air, which means, is it going to be yet again air? Is it going to work again? I mean, the second plan with blimping the town hall early worked way better. We saw that blimp with the rage. A lot of people in the chat were asking, like, why is he investing the blimp with the rage? I mean, there's the safe blimp option, which means like with sneaky goblins to take down the town hall without any rages needed, but the clan cast was right behind it. So if you're using this type of strategy, you don't want to do out a possible ice ice golem or lava hound or things like that. So you invested the rage because those rages are not near that bad on an E-Dragon attack. So really nice move by them. Let's see if they're going yet again with the short blimp or they're going with the far side blimp, because this did not work out the first time. So let's see what their approach is going to be.
Well, the first 5 attacks were all from the skies, but we are getting grounded now by Gordy. King Circle going to be moving in with that hybrid army, miners and hog riders. A strong entry point here with the Queen Charge, going to get 5 healers to back her up on the top corner with that unicorn as well. Should be able to take down the town hall. She's charging into that little pocket in the top compartment very nicely. Question is, though, what sort of traps does Boom have set up on the top side to try to defend against such an entry point? Seems like a sort of baited entry point to me, with so many holes in the walls up there allowing the funnel through. He's got super minions in the clan castle. They pop out and will start shooting away at that archer queen. Lots of damage getting stacked onto her, but with the rage spell for those healers, she is staying nice and safe. Good solid entry point. Is going to take a lot more to take out the CC, though. Rocket Loon's coming out right afterwards. We'll get a free spell, and I think that the queen should be safe here, Itsu. Oh,
but there's so much damage. She's take a look at those skeletons. There's so many skeletons. And the ton of poison was there as well. Now the hybrid is about to start, and I have to say, let's see how the hybrid is going, because I feel like the hybrid, as long as the tunnel is going down and the tunnel charge looks good, it is still a pretty viable strategy. I feel like it has one of the highest hit rates in competitive play if people can actually use it, but it has one of the lowest use rates. So let's see how Gordy is going to make that work, because the eagle shots are coming down. The Warden ability is still delayed, and there we go. Warden finally used. The queen is staying alive. And Woody, what about this backhand?
The back end is looking really strong, with lots of giant bombs exploding in the top compartment and over on the left corner now. Those hogs and miners are looking really confident. The only thing that they have to worry about really is the spring traps, and with so many of them spread out, that shouldn't cause too many to fly away. You just saw one hog rider getting popped off there, but there are so many left here, Itsu. This is maybe the most dominant ground strike that I have seen in all of Clash Masters. They are so strong, just swarming the entire base. All 4 heroes still up. He had an overwhelming force to finish this one off. Great read by Gordy. The traps set up by Boom there to defend against the Queen Charge up top were formidable, but there's really nothing that you can do to force a Queen Charge to end. All you can do is try to get more offensive spell capacity out of your opponent's hand, but with the aggressive deployment there by Gordy, he was willing to play every spell he needed to keep that queen up and alive, popping down skeleton traps, the town hall, going in hard on scatters. There was nothing to end that hit up top. And Gordy, once again, just like in our second attack, had a really great plan, flawlessly executed, and a well-earned 3-star is the result.
Yeah, we noticed the trend of King Circle stopped using those far-side blimps. Instead, they're trying to either go into the tunnel early and from the outside, which means it's less likely to be baited, because so far, it seems like that those far-side blimps always are baited with that NATO from Alternate. So, let's see if this is going to be the trend moving forward for them. But this Queen Charge hybrid, as I said, was really, really overwhelming. Really nicely done. And if you keep those miners and hog riders alive with those heal spells, they're quite strong still, even though they have no level on Town of 14, like no additional level. And, I mean, it is looking really strong. So really nicely done over there. And now it's back to Alternate again. Back to Alternate. I mean, we should have quite a few good attackers left over there. So looking forward to see what type of strategies they're going to bring next. And who is actually the next attacker for them?
Good question there. We've got a 2-star lead for the attacking squad. And we're just about to hop into the game right now. We'll see who the next striker is. It's Yo-Yo 23, the Lava Hound Master. He's brought 2 Ice Hounds this time, though. Similar strategy. Gonna get a little freezy pop action up top, but check out these lightnings and earthquakes early on. Big strike right into the core for some easy early damage. I think that he took out a couple of air sweepers with those, Itsu.
Yeah, taking that out nice and early, and now the queen for that. I'm just trying to figure out, because the Tesla farm on the left is looking quite annoying, but there we go with that. Wait a second, that queen might go wrong. She needs to go for the town, or is she turning back? Yeah, she is coming back, but she still needs to get that town. This is the important thing. This is her goal, to get, there is the freeze, making sure that she's staying alive, which means one less spell for that Lalo, and there's the queen ability in just a second to take the town hall down. And now the Lalo has to get started. My guess would be, yep, the Slammer for the multi-Inferno Tower with 1 Coconut Loon. And then he's starting off strong from the top right side with Lalo maybe. Or he's going into the Eagle. Those are the options. No, wait a second. It's not the Slammer for the Inferno Tower, but instead 1 Dragon Rider. The question is, with that Eagle activated, Woody, is he going to get the multi?
Lots of splash damage, and that is not what you want to see still up when you're running a Lava Hound attack. Ice Hounds and Balloons are a great pairing to soak that damage out in front and then deal it on the back end. But if the Ice Hound goes down, that could be a lot of splash against those Balloons. Great use of the freeze there to prevent that from happening. The second pack of Balloons is still far away. Can the first one get that Eagle down? Doesn't look like it. They're going to be pathing a little bit away over toward that Archer Tower next. Yo-Yo still knows, though, if he can get close enough to that in Eagle Artillery, it won't be able to hit his Balloons. Does he have just enough to finish the job? Air Skeletons are picking away at him, but they've done it, Itsu. The Eagle Artillery has been annihilated, and with that, the biggest defensive block is finished off. These minions and pups are sure to be able to finish it off now, and wow, still holding on to one of his Ice Hounds. It turned out to be a pretty overwhelming victory when all was said and done.
Wow, it looks so easy. It looks so easy if you see someone doing those Lalo attacks, especially the 3 Lalo attacks. But it's actually not. Like, it's such a tricky strategy to execute, but Yo-Yo is making things look easy. You have so many spells, you have so many things you have to take a look at the same time in those attacks. And that is really, really not as easy as those pros make it look. So really impressive attack right there. And Alternate are keep going with those perfect results. Can they do it? Can they make it with their last attack? But King Circle is hitting next. And if they want to, I mean, still someone wants to have a chance. It's unlikely, as you said earlier, but still, if they want to have the possibility of coming back in this match, they need to keep 3-starring and make sure that they're staying close to Alternate. And if there's a mess up, maybe they have a chance.
Yeah, it is an incredibly difficult uphill battle at this point. At most, King Circle could get 13 stars from this war if they get 2 triples out of their next 2 hits. And hey, they have a 66% hit rate so far in this war, right? They've been getting 3 stars more often than not. But just the fact that the first hit was a 1-star leaves them really limping along into the later stage of this match. So, like you said, the opening for them right now is just to get 2 3-stars and then to hope beyond hope that they get an epic 1-star defense against alternate attacks that results in a really low percentage. It isn't impossible. I'm saying there is a chance, slim as it might be. It looks like alternate attacks are going to be the first team to earn their qualification for the playoffs in this last chance qualifier, Itsu.
Yeah, it really looks like that. So let's take a look at this one. We have another air attack, but this one feels like yet again they want to blimp the town off from the top side. They do not want to risk it using that blimp from the far side. And that town hall should go easily down. And wait a second, there's the NATO. The Hound is getting...
What?
This Hound. Wait, the town hall survived. What is going on?
What's the point of that Hound? Didn't get the job done. The town hall's still up. Didn't finish off that Archer Tower on the left side, even with those balloons. This was a lot to commit early on to try to take that down, and it might have been an overcommitment now from Big Tommy to try to follow up and ensure that that first star is claimed. He gets the CC pull and some super minions pop out. He's got some offense against him, but doesn't finish them off even. He's just not applying enough pressure to get the job done on each task here, and he is going to pay dearly as a result. This Eternal Tome is an aggressive early use here, and is really going to leave his back-end support troops high and dry. He is going to be struggling on this one, Itsu, and he is just not even halfway through the base yet.
Yeah, this is not going to be easy. The heal spell covering everything. Oh, the Inferno Tower at the top side needs to go down. The bottom side with the Queen and the King did not go anywhere. Those Tesla, those traps are perfect against that. He has a couple of reasons for the backhand, but this will be typically the point where the Royal Champion is coming in. But he had to invest the Royal Champion to get the Town Hall. So this is not an easy thing, and this looks like another defense. Alternate really prepared against those air attacks, and this is going to be yet again a crazy good defense because he has no percentage troops, which means this is going to end up on around, wait, this skeleton, maybe the skeleton is going to get, okay, either way, but around 61%. But the big thing right now is that this Hound, is obviously like a huge question. Why did he have a Hound in there? The answer is pretty simple actually. He had a Hound and 5 Sneaky Goblins in there. 5 Sneaky Goblins, if you know that they're not going to be taken down, are guaranteed 100% enough to take down the Town Hall. The problem though, yet again, was the NATO trap. This NATO trap, making sure that the Sneaky Goblins are getting like rotated against the wall, not being able to hit the Town Hall, was the difference maker, and being the difference maker not going for the Town Hall. Town Hall surviving, and yeah, that was the problem. The Hound was supposed to trigger some traps, but I don't think they thought they would trigger this NATO like this. So a little bit lucky on the defense over there. You have to say it. It was the blimp, the NATO was yet again placed against the far side blimp. But with that Hound coming out with that timing, it somehow turned out to be an OP trap with that blimp. So yeah, unfortunate move, and yet again an OP defense. And with this defense, this match is pretty much over.
Yeah, you just saw a cascade of calamity. As soon as the entry point failed, and he realized that he had to throw more at the top corner, he dropped the spells and the troops that he thought was going to be sufficient to get the job done. But even that was not going to be enough, because then he was going to be short on the mid stage of his attack. He was kind of forced to make really quick snap-second decisions. And when you don't have a plan in mind already, you just start throwing anything that you've got at the problem to try to fix it. I saw at one point he dropped a skeleton spell on a single target Inferno to try to protect his Inferno Dragons from that big defense. But because there was a multi-target Inferno right across in the next compartment, all of those skeletons just got burnt up the second that they were spawning. So that provided very little protection and defense for that Inferno Dragon that he was sending in, and just kind of made every single next hit of the attack lose the momentum and power that he was planning on having there. So really unfortunate follow-up from King's Circle to miss that triple, and in essence give alternate attacks the chance to win the war here now with a 1-star strike. That is the minimum we can expect from Ast, who is not just going to come in with those 5 Dragon Riders, but give a little bit of a compliment as well to the Party Wizards, rocking out with 3 of those and a couple of rocket balloons as well for some fancy cleanup work toward the end. He's going to get an early hit out on the right corner, looking for that Eagle Artillery, but hasn't found the crack-in shot just yet. Holding on to that super wall breaker until he finds exactly the right point. No, in fact, he's going to just use balloons to take it down, because there's no air defenses protecting that Eagle Artillery now. Wow.
That is really genius. Really, really good move. This one loon is out of range of everything, and slowly and painful measure, it's taking down this this Eagle. The Queen is getting raged up because she's engaging that high damage area, freezing this thing in Inferno Tower just to make sure that this Queen is getting where she's supposed to go. And this is already looking yet again like a really good opener for alternate. Ast is showing off. But this NATO could rotate his Queen in a lot of problems, using the invisibility spell to keep her alive, keep the heaters alive. This Town Hall Explosion is going to hurt, and the Town Hall Poison as well. But with that rage and not too much damage on her, this should be alright. No wall breakers left though, so this Queen is on her own. But the Dragon Riders just have started. But the Rocket Loons you mentioned have not been deployed just yet.
I congratulate an attacker anytime they can use a balloon to take down a seeking air mine with just a coconut loon hit. The fact that Ast was able to take down an entire Eagle artillery is just maximum value for that one little balloon, and it allows the Archer Queen to not waste time on walls and to path more directly toward the key target of the base, that town hall in the bottom corner. With 2 stars secured, Ast has guaranteed advancement to the playoffs for alternate attacks, and we will see now if they can get the first perfect war of the day with a 3-star strike against Gordy's last defenses. It's looking very likely, Itsu. I think he's done it!
There we go, another perfect for alternate. They're just looking unstoppable today. It's a really, really strong performance. And, well, that was quite impressive showing. But still, we have 1 attack left of King Circle. And we obviously want to pay them the respect of trying to stay in this match. It's not easy. Like, trust me, I'm talking about, from experience this already. Starting off with a 1-star, this is never a good thing to have it. So staying inside this match is not easy. So let's see what they can do with their last attack.
Yeah, they really stumbled out of the gate there. Had a great follow-up, you know, able to get a couple of 3 stars back to back, but just not able to keep the momentum going. And even if they had, really, there's no way to overcome a perfect war when you get a 1-star right to start with. So congratulations to alternate attacks for their advancement in this war. King Circle put up a ferocious fight, you know, with a couple of triples against one of the best clans in the world. But even though it wasn't a foregone conclusion at the outset who would be the winner here today, having seen alternate attacks fall last week to RTK, we knew that they were going to be putting everything they had to ensure qualification for the playoffs next week. And they sure have done it. With 15 stars, the perfect war. You can't ask for more out of alternate attacks, especially with the fact that they got a 15-9 scoreline in their previous war. The fact that King Circle is able to put up that many stars with their 4 hits, and then maybe 2 or 3 more with their last strike. Got to give credit to them. A consolation prize, perhaps, but you got to feel for this squad that was just 1 win away from getting into the playoffs, Itsu.
Yeah, 1 win away. It was so close for them, and now we have their last attack coming in. We have the Queen Charge Dragon Rider coming at this base of Valley. So let's see if we can get that last 3-star in with their attack. He is funneling nicely. Sneaky Goblin at the top side should force the Queen inside that 1 compartment. And with this wall break, the Queen should be able to reach that air defense depending on how she is pathing. If she is skipping it, that would be really bad news for him. And so far, the Queen is not going into the right direction for targeting the air defense. If the air defense keep getting skipped, this might be really bad news for those healers. But so far, it's looking like she might step into that direction. There's a lot of damage. The Single Phone Tower is beaming up. The King is getting funneled at the top side. And yep, there we go. Air defense has been taken down. But this Single Phone Tower might be a problem.
Yeah, forces out another freeze there. We'll be able to finish it off before those defending CC troops are going to engage, and thanks to that invisibility spell, he'll keep that Queen insulated. She's going to be taking a lot more damage, though, as soon as that wears off, and with the boom explosion from the Lava Hound, that's going to be a lot of pups to deal with. Throws in 1 minion to try to help those healers out on the back end and keep that Queen nice and safe with some additional support from her friend, the Royal Champion, right next to her now. They're going to be teaming up on this King. Double time to try to take him down. Big sword strikes are going to eliminate the Royal Champion, but the Archer Queen will have her revenge, finishing off that first hero and then getting some pop shots off at the second. Even with the tornado trap going off, she is going to be continuing in as best she can. Boom! Big Tesla Farm's going to pop up in the bottom left corner as the 2nd star has been claimed by Captain Rocket. We are going to get a big strike over on the right side, though, with a Stone Slammer supporting the 1 Dragon Rider, while the rest of that force, the bulk, supported by the Eternal Tome, will burn straight through the Eagle Artillery, Itsu.
Yes, straight through the core, but with all of those Dragon Riders in the core, they're taking a lot of damage. But the backhand slammer would just open. Taking the backhand air defense might be a good thing for him, because those loons are now taking over, even though the Dragon Riders are low, but there is not a lot of things left. The healers are getting pulled across, the healers are getting pulled into the damage, taking everything on the backhand. With 40 seconds left, this could be the next 3-star. Those Dragon Riders are low, though. First Dragon Rider, no, wait, it's surviving.
That's
this
pretty high.
Goblin is tanking.
Never expected to hear you say those words, Itsu. The sneaky goblin tank might have just kept the remaining little air troops alive a little bit longer, enough to guarantee the 3-star. Congratulations to Captain Rocket soaring into the finish line position with a triple against alternate attacks. Congratulations to King Circle. They got a victory over Sky Stars yesterday, and with another win over the Unicorns of Love Jinx squad, 12-10. They had an impressive performance this weekend. 12 stars will be their final score against a perfect war by alternate attacks, and they have now been eliminated. But alternate attacks will move on to the playoffs next week. They are also going to be competing tomorrow in our semifinals, going up against the winner of the next war between Aphelion Esports and Anonymous 5. So let's congratulate alternate attacks and give commiserations to King's Circle on a job well done. And that's going to be the first war today for the Clash Masters Last Chance Qualifier, Itsu.
Yeah, that's right. So we are going to hop into a really short break, and we're going to be back, as you said, with the next match, Aphelion Esports versus Anonymous. So you don't want to miss that. So let's be back in just a couple of minutes.
Welcome back to Clash Masters. There you saw the first war finish with a victory by alternate attacks. You are watching the Last Chance Qualifier, where teams have one more war, one more big hope to make it into the playoffs. our last event next week. We'll have the bulk of that $20,000 prize pool for our event, and the first place team will get a wild card silver ticket for the Clash of Clans World Championship. That $1 million prize pool event will get one little tiny shot for the end finale if you win at the Clash Masters next week. My name's Woody, and I'm joined once again by Itsu, where we are about to kick off the second war. Itsu, what are we looking forward toward?
We're looking forward to a really great matchup. So let's take a look at the bracket to figure out what our next matchup looks like. We're going to watch Aphelion Esports versus Anonymous. After we saw Alternate winning against King Circle, we have our next match on the hand. Looking forward to see what strategies, what scores we're going to witness. And obviously you can see as well, we have more matches to come later today. We have Cream Real Betters versus Reported Gaming, and then non-team versus Team Zex. That's going to be interesting. But first off, Aphelion Esports against Anonymous 5, going to be an interesting matchup.
Yeah, it's looking like Aphelion Esports is more aligned with the offense this week. They picked up 14-star wins against 2 opponents. Those were a Dream Team by BF and BD Clashers. They also got victories over Indian Tribe as well as Team XO. So some well-known names in the pro community there. Not top qualifying teams that they've gone up against just yet, though. So they are going to have their work cut out for them in this next round against the Anonymous 5. Anonymous 5, for their own part, have taken on some really big names. Blaze JP, they got a 13-11 score victory in that one. And then Darkest Muzan, a Worlds League team, in a tough, tight 13-13 war. They went up against WHF after that and PT Nightmare. So some big names that Anonymous 5 have beaten so far and really held their own against with some fantastic defenses. So expect to see Aphelion come out strong with those attacks, and then Anonymous 5 seem to have some really great base building skills in their arsenal to defend against. So which one will emerge victorious and get that second spot in the playoffs for next week? Well, we're about to find out, Itsu.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they are bringing to the table, because at the moment we're going to see a lot of teams preferring those air attacks, which we just have seen in the first match from King Circle. But the other side, on the other hand, we saw Alternate defending those really nicely. So we have Aphelion coming in with the exact army we were talking about, with those air spammy type of attacks. So let's see if that blimp is going to get the town. We talked about it. If the town is not going down, things are looking bad for this attack strategy. There is that blimp. Warden ability is covering it. Can it make the connection and take down this town hall?
I think it will. Great protection from the Eternal Tome keeps all of those Dragon Riders, dragons, and even that Inferno Dragon protected from that scatter shot, and got it just in time to get that Battle Blimp on target. That Dragon Rider pops out and eliminates the Town Hall for the first star. Shoya from Aphelion Esports is still going to be going strong with a big midsection, beefy looking heal spell drop down to get them topped back off as best he can. The Eternal Tome, a free spell out to shut down that Inferno Tower. He's only got one more left, but he's almost got the job done. Can he finish on the final leg here against that last big air defense, Itsu?
Yeah, with the Royal Champion coming in as well, being hopefully maybe able to take down this backend, but the Tesla form is looking strong. But with one freeze, one Queen ability, and the Royal Champ ability still left, this is looking really, really good for the attacker. We have the freeze covering the Expo and the Tesla right there. The Royal Champ ability now is covering the rest of the defenses.
Brilliant.
If this ground Expo is going down, it's looking good. The King should be taken down as well, especially with that Queen ability not even used yet. And that Party Queen is, putting in some swag and getting the first 3-star in this match. Nicely done to Shoya.
The Mix Master, Shoya, has made it all the way through the backside, and with that Queen's final Royal Cloak ability charging through with a grand finale. 100% 3-star for Aphelion Esports to start things off here. The defense is just not able to hold up against that massive aerial bombardment. Congratulations there, but we are going to get a chance to see Anonymous 5 with return fire very shortly. What are your first thoughts at seeing another aerial attack succeed in such stunning fashion, Itsu? Do you think that we are going to just see more aerial hits throughout the rest of this raid, or is it going to be time eventually to switch back down to the ground?
I mean, it's hard to call because a lot of teams in the current meta like to start with air attacks. I mean, we saw that already earlier this year with the Inferno Dragons, where people just like to have like the first one or two maybe attacks starting off with air because they are less planned, or like you have to put less time into planning those, which means it's more time then around to give for the plan for queen charges, for Sui Lalos, things like that would typically need more time to be planned out and actually getting executed properly. So this might be the strategy, so we don't know yet what is about to happen in the next couple of attacks, but starting off with air is something classic, and that's exactly what Aphelion did in this matchup. Looking now forward to see the same opener as well for the second team, but for Nominus 5, but you never know. You never know. We saw already some crazy teams going in the first attack with some 10 healer charges. Crazy things are happening sometimes. So let's see what we can witness with that first attack.
Well, that's a great point. It's not just the tactical planning for each individual attack, but the strategic structuring of your team overall. Having a captain at the helm who can identify which bases are going to need the most prep time to be able to deconstruct and which ones can just be flattened off with a strong attack right at the beginning is a great ability to have. Anonymous 5 now giving us a little bit of time to breathe in between that first hit and their initial strike. But they should be starting off very shortly with their first salvo of fire. It's giving us great reason to believe that that first strike is going to be coming in from the skies once again. Whether that winds up being a sort of spammy big aerial strike or a more planned, careful concoction, we are yet to see. But it's going to be coming in from VF, LBBVB. The Anonymous 5 are going to be launching in with that hybrid Skygrid army, 3 Dragon Riders and 6 Dragons off on this hit. We are going in on the left corner, or the right corner, excuse me, first against that Eagle Artillery and then 2 big heroes on the backside. A Sui strike from these heroes means that they will need to get the job done without any healer support, but I think that they've got it, that opening right on the right side corner, exactly what they needed to infiltrate and destroy those big key targets, Sister.
Yeah, but this attack around now is relying on that blimp yet again. And we did see some big problems with those blimps sometimes. There is the Warden ability covering pretty much only 2 Dragon Riders and this blimp. So let's see, the blimp is flying, no NATO is just yet. A ton of red bombs are getting triggered. And those loons are connecting to the Town Hall. There is no NATO whatsoever. And this means this Town Hall is going down, which is the key thing. But the Singing Inferno Tower is staying alive behind the Town Hall, because he did open that blimp quite a bit late. But now he's relying on that Royal Champion. He's relying on his Royal Champion to get down the entirety of the backend. But 2 X-Bows, Singing Inferno Tower, defending the Royal Champion, all of this being alive. I have to say, this is not looking good for the attacker.
Yeah, a lot of that offense now missing. Take a look at what's left among the troops that are available. Just a little bit of cleanup support from a Headhunter and Party Wizard, a couple of archers and minions. He still does have 1 invisibility spell, which he can use probably on a hero to try to keep safe during this single target Inferno charge, and that's where he will use it, on that Royal Champion. But it is going to go away, and the champion does not take down the Inferno Tower in time. Defensive support from that Builder Hut right next to the Inferno Tower might have been the saving grace of that last key structure here. Now VF has just got the Archer Queen to pop away with the Unicorn, giving some little bitty heals as best it can for the final remaining structures here. We are still going to see a really high percentage hit. Whether this winds up being a 3-star, it looks unlikely at this point, but LBBVB still holding on to that Queen ability until the last possible moment. Unfortunately for him, though, the Queen does wander within the single target range there, so that's going to force out the ability. Burns down those archers in support, and it's looking like this is going to be maybe just a 98% if she can crack through this wall, take down that last Inferno, but asking a bit too much of her to finish off the entirety of the epic, Sitsu.
Yeah, and this means it's going to be this 98% overall, which is not the worst. Like, it is still pretty close. Yes, obviously we have this 1-star difference, but at the same time, it is an difference where you can easily come back from, especially considering that those were just the first 2 attacks in this match. We have still 8 attacks to go, 4 attacks each for those teams, and this is far from being over just because of a couple of percentage. As we said, the interesting thing is now to watch and maybe see what those teams are going to bring next strategy-wise. Do they have the setup of going in with air first and then follow up with something different, or they are going with air all the way, which obviously in the current meta possible as well. And we have the air again, but in a different fashion. We have the air with Lalo, which is typically way harder to plan and execute. So let's see where those lightnings are going to drop, and they're dropping right onto this Inferno Tower, taking it down, getting it out of the way, and this defending Royal Champion is out of the way as well.
Yeah, if you want to beat yourself up as a member of Anonymous 5, LBBVB could certainly say something like, oh man, I missed an entire star out of that hit. But if you're a Fellion Esports, you're probably not feeling all too confident about that defense. Coming in with a 2-star 98% is just about as close as you can get to a triple, and really is not going to give you very much of a percentage advantage overall if this does come down to the tiebreaker in the end. So they have got to stay spry and wary of every single defense that's set up against them and continue to put their best on the line. They are going in hard with a Queen charge, unsupported by any healers, but with an ability to strike at that Town Hall early, might just be able to get good value after all. Ice Golem's going to slow that attack down just a little bit here, but with a poison spell out to support and just one builder head attacking the Queen, I think that she should have just enough staying power with that Royal Cloak later on to finish off the Town Hall and get the good entry point that Choco was looking for here. A really juicy strike to start off for this Lava Hound blow.
Yeah, and the Queen just staying alive with that Unicorn. The Unicorn being so powerful in that situation where you don't have that much damage raining down. And on the other side, we have the Royal Champion now going for that Multi-Inferno Tower. The question is, can she take it down? So far, it looks like a big no, sadly. The Lano is starting off from the top side. You have, yes, 13 loons left, and the Slammer is not even deployed just yet. And there's the Rage. And there is the party getting started with all of those loons. Still 9 loons yet to deploy. And I feel like there is no base left. But still, it's an Inferno Tower and Scatter. So, not like nothing. But this base is just looking right.
Yeah, not a whole lot that they can do with so many free spells going down. The Scatter Shot is very effective, but when it gets locked on to the Stone Slammer, as you saw there, it's not getting any splash damage out on the backside. Choco just overwhelmed this base with offense and is going to be rewarded for that 3-star as a result. Fellion Esports will keep their momentum going with back-to-back victories out of the gate here. Lava Hound not even popping suggested that Choco had overwhelming offense to get this first one done. Congratulations to him. The defenses by LBBVB evaporating with the overwhelming might of this initial aerial attack.
Yeah, that was really impressive to watch. Like, this base was just gone after the entry. Like, such a good hero part, taking down the entirety of this base. And then the Lalo, I mean, he just had, it felt like he just had erased the first group of loons. And the base was down because the backhand Slammer took down the Scatter Shot, and then the Multi-Inferno Tower had to shoot like 1 million loons at the same time. This was just not possible. It's a really good attack by them. And now we're getting back to Anomalous 5. Looking forward to see if they keep going with those air attacks, or if they're going to switch things up with some ground or more strategic attacks like Queen Charges, for example. Looking forward to that and see how the approach looks like and how this team is set up strategy-wise and what the strategies are looking like. But you never know. Looking forward to for sure see that and take a look at what they can bring to the table.
All right, you are. Let's see if the offense from Fellion Esports is enough to get them away in front right out of the gate here, or Anonymous 5 can, as you say, get us back into it with their second strike. I mean, judging from that first war, alternate attacks getting the 2-star advantage over the first 2 hits, it really seems like the early lead does present a very big obstacle to overcome. But we have seen comebacks happen before here in Clash Masters. Just last week, I saw a couple of different wars where the team that was behind early on still managed to get the victory. So we are not going to count out the Anonymous 5 just yet. Zhanchin is going to be the second attacker for them with a a battle blimp strike right onto the town hall, grabbing that first star early on. What is that, Yeti jumping out of that? Well, by hook or by crook, they are going to get that initial hit and prepare for the Dragon Rider army moving in next with a Queen Charge complement. She's pulled all the CC troops down to the bottom corner, and even though she's taken some fire from that scatter shot, she's getting lots of healing support as well. And I'm sure that Zhanchin has got a great plan to strike at that bottom corner.
Yeah, pushing in with his queen, and we're seeing that queen charge into that compartment. The king at the same time trying to take down the multi-inferno tower. The problem though at the moment is that Eagle using the king ability, which means all of those spawn barbarians are taking a lot of damage. The defending giant bomb is taking down the barbarians as well. And this means the multi-inferno tower is staying alive, and that was the main objective for his king. He started the king too early. He had to use the he had to wait until the queen actually taking down the defending king, and then using his king to take down the multi-inferno tower. So either way, we have the Royal Champion in at the bottom side trying to take down the air defense, which might be a big threat to those healers. Queen taking down the defending queen is looking good. The Dragon Rider started early as well. But now the thing is, can they survive in this one? First couple of red bombs are hitting those Dragon Riders. The queen is somehow staying alive, pushing into the core of the space, and this long alley is looking good. But take a look at that. Those red bombs. All of those healers are gone. And now this is going to be a tricky situation for him to somehow keep those troops alive. He has no slammer on the back end, but a couple of Dragon Riders left alive, and still the Warden ability, nice Warden ability, protecting those Dragon Riders.
Yeah, I think I saw a Seeking Airmine popping off against that central Dragon Rider. Still just barely kept it alive thanks to support from that Eternal Tome by the Grand Warden there. But yeah, Archer Queen going way far down because of so many air bombs, skeleton traps, Seeking Airmines popping off against the healers right in the core there. This seemed to be like an overwhelming victory, but it's getting awfully close now. Boom! Another big Seeking Airmine takes down a Dragon Rider, and there's only two left, both really low on hit points. Boom! Another one goes down. Boom! The third one goes down, and Zhanchin's offense is just going to the graveyard now. It's 25 seconds left to try to get all the remaining cleanup, and there's still just a lot of base. I think he's got enough offense to get the job done, but can he get the damage in time?
This is looking so close. The last Archer Tower has the chance of taking down the pups and everything, the minions and everything, but it's not easy, especially in the Warden Aura. It takes some time to take them down, but at the end, it is not going to be enough time for him to get that 3-star, which means we're going to witness, yet again, another defense for Aphelion. Yes, it's not like crazy defenses like we saw from Alternate with like 60% 2-star, but it is what it is. With only having two 2-stars so far, we have a 2-star lead now for Aphelion. Looking strong in this matchup percentage-wise. Anomalous 5 are still really close on their track, but I mean, stars is the first important thing, and there is a 2-star difference at the moment. Next attack is in as well for Kazuma, and he is bringing in the Queen Charge Dragon Riders as well with an Ice Golem. Interesting, so let's see how he's going to use that one.
That 2-star 98% from Anonymous 5 right out the bat wasn't too much of a letdown for them, but when you get two 2-stars in a row, the deficit really starts to build up here. Aphelion Esports now with just a slim lead in overall damage, but a massive advantage in stars scored. Are going to feel very confident as they move into the mid-war now. Kazuma will be the first striker moving in for that number 3 base, and with a Dragon Rider Queen Charge army, he is not going to be giving us anything out of the ordinary. He is not going to be rewriting the planning book here. He has just got a standard strong army to face off against this setup. He is going to have to pop that poison spell to get down those witches, and with the queen barely surviving that initial encounter, needs a lot of support to keep her up. Another rage spell to get those healers back on task because the fire is raining down from that Eagle artillery, Itsu.
Yeah, the Eagle being able for shooting for so long. And at the moment, you have to say he's quite lucky. Like, if this Eagle is actually targeting his healers, this would be incredible bad news for him. But so far, he's doing a good job keeping his Queen alive. He needs a Rage again. Rage again. There is the Rage. But there is so much damage. The Queen is staying somehow alive through all of this. With the Slammer at the top side and the Dragon Rider is now starting as well. This should... Oh, wait a second. The healers are getting targeted. Oh, no. The worst thing possible is happening if there's a red bomb. All of those healers are down. And now he's relying on those Dragon Riders to somehow finish off this base.
I will say the healers went down and they made a heroic sacrifice, soaking 2 Seeking Air Mines on the bottom corner of that base. So even though they are eliminated by that Eagle artillery, they're going to give just a little bit of breathing room for these Dragon Riders who hate Seeking Air Mines, who take so much damage from them. Kazuma trying to keep those balloons out in front to catch any more Seeking Air Mines, Black Bombs that are still left out there, and it looks like, boom, with them eliminated, that is going to be the last strike from the skies. This is going to be a close one, but I think he just might have it. It's boom, he's going to feel confident with those freezes and invisibility spell to swag on the back end. Royal Champion gets the knock down, and that is going to be 3 stars for Aphelion. The tic-tac-toe perfect 3 for 3 start.
Really good job by them. The Royal Champion was able to finish things off after an incredible opening. I mean, the Queen got everything she was supposed to get with that Queen charge. Taking out the Town Hall, great pathing was created with that King. So really good job on the opener, making sure that it's already enough value-wise what you're about to get. And then we did not see that many Black Mines on the other side of the base because, as you said, those healers already took down quite a few of those Black Mines, so the Dragon Riders had not too many big threats against them. So really good job by them. They're getting the next 3-star in, and this is what we're looking forward to. Like, seeing the teams executing really nice strategies to get into the next round and making sure that they're getting into the playoffs in this last chance qualifier, because this is the really big important match. Obviously, tomorrow we're going to play for seeding and deciding in which group they're going to get into the playoffs, but at this point they're like, those teams are playing for getting into the playoffs. So this is the most important match right now, it feels like, and so far Aphelion is doing a great job of actually looking really strong in this matchup.
Yeah, the only other match that I've seen from the first 3 weeks of competition that was decisive in determining whether a team got to go to the playoffs was Alternate Attacks last week when they were trying to advance over RTK. Their loss there meant that they had to come back again today, but they've managed to win anyways. This is the second war that we've seen now that will determine which clan will advance. Aphelion Esports looking extremely strong with their 3 for 3, especially against Anonymous, where they managed to get 2 defensive pickups after all. So let's see if Polo Smoker can be the one to finally get a 3rd star on the board for Anonymous 5. Looking for that offensive pickup with the Super Witches. Super out of left field here now. But hey, let's give them a shot. The big drawback for these Super Witches is how slow they go. So expect to see a rapid approach here from Polo Smoker. Only bringing 1 jump spell, probably right for the core of that base on those 2 centralized multi-target Infernos. But without any single target Infernos, those big boys and Super Witches are going to be quite strong. It's just a race against the clock, Itsu.
Wait a second, the Queen is going the wrong way. What? She's stealing all of those healers, and we had bats for the back end, so time might have not been the biggest issue, but the biggest issue right now is this Queen stealing all of those healers, and the Warden dying right away as well, like having to use his ability. There is this blimp, and this means he needs to freeze that town, otherwise all of those healers are about to get taken down. This attack is falling apart so quickly. We have already Super Witches being kind of off meta, but if an entry like this is failing so bad, this is not an easy thing to come back from. He's barely getting the percentage to get the 2nd star. Yes, he has the bats still left, but those bats are not going to take down a lot of percentages, so this is going to be a race to get the 2nd star, Woody.
This is the biggest defensive pickup since that first war where we saw a 1-star defense. Plusmocker did manage to get the Town Hall down early enough, but Shoya's defense is just annihilated those poor Super Witches. We've got an Eagle Artillery pounding away on the back end, and Plusmocker just knows that 3 stars are impossible for this attack at this point. He's lost every healer supporting that Archer Queen, and is just going to throw all he's got at the top corner, trying to get that overall damage as high as possible. But with another 2-star strike from the Anonymous 5, and with a big dip now in their overall damage, it is all but over. The offensive capabilities just withering away at Aphelion Esports' great base building, and this attack is going to be over in short order, Itsu.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, yeah, at least he got the 2-star, so that's the nice thing about this attack, but yeah, the Warden Walk was just there to funnel, and the Warden did not do the job correctly. I guess he started too early with the Super Witches, made sure that the buildings, which actually were supposed to get the Queen into the other direction, already have been taken down, and this then in the end resulted in the Queen going the wrong way, stealing all of those healers, and making this attack nearly impossible to come back from. So good defense, but at the same time, you have to say this was not about the base. This was about the mess up from the attacker using his Super Witches too early, getting away, or like taking down the buildings, which were supposed to lure over the Queen. And this then was what we just witnessed. So unfortunate things are happening right there. But now we're getting back to Aphelion, which so far had been they were doing an incredible job staying in this match and smashing some bases, Woody.
Oh yeah, everything is going the right way for Aphelion in this war. It says a lot about their offensive strength that they could just completely throw away an entire attack and an entire defense, and they would still be tied. They've got a 3-star advantage right now over Anonymous 5. And this is just really so much of an overwhelming lead that I don't see any way at all for Anonymous 5 to be able to get back into this war at such the late stage. Still, let's watch this attack and see if we can learn some insights with a Dragon Rider, Dragon Skybrid army by Ima here. Taking down the Eagle Artillery early on for a big punch at the base and holding on to the Battle Blimp for the strike at the Town Hall later. This is going to be a strong Sui hit with a big risky element here going in from the bottom right side. That should be able to path all the way to the top and might be just enough to get the 3 stars, but is going to be going a long way to get there. Early hit at the enemy Archer Queen with big rage support for these troops. They're getting pulled a bit closer to the middle than he may have anticipated here. That's going to be a lot of damage stacking onto his attackers, Itsu.
There is a lot of damage on those dragons at the moment. You called it right. It is not easy to take or like get to the core like this, but the Warden ability covering all of those dragons was a nice thing. There's the freeze, and there's now the blimp getting sent into the tunnel. He's too afraid of sending it from the far side because we saw so many baits and tornado traps placed against this far side blimp. But it feels like those dragons just dying out quickly is not the best thing for him to happen. The sneaky goblins are getting the town hall. He has the Royal Champion left to place, but to be honest, with like the scatter shot, Expo, Testa form, another Expo, the Warden, everything left alive, I have no clue how this is supposed to be. Yeah, somewhat of a good percentage, and this means this is the defense Anonymous 5 needed. It's still not easy to come back from, to be honest, but I mean, at least it is the chance, it is the possibility still there. Aphelion, after 3 good 3 stars, are not making it in the 4th attack, and this is a pretty good defense.
I think you're still giving a little bit too much credit for Anonymous 5 here, being a little optimistic there too. There is still no chance in my mind that they get the win here. Aphelion Esports does miss out on the 3-star with this strike by Emma. I think that the reason for that was, despite some good funneling by that Archer Queen and the Royal Champion in the bottom corner, taking out that Eagle Artillery and a big chunk of the bottom side of the base, the dragons were still drawn into that midsection. They went straight toward the core as soon as they finished off the right side corner. And that just made them susceptible to so many defenses locking directly onto them. I think that the plan here was to start from the right corner and stay as close to the outer edge of the base as possible, swooping around the top side to grab that town hall, and then going counterclockwise over to the left side corner at the end stages. The fact that they went for the midsection a little bit earlier than expected, I think was what ultimately gave away the third star there, but still holding on to the battle blimp with a solid entry point and plan B for the town hall. Emma does manage to get the 2 stars that keeps Aphelion Esports ahead by a total of 5, now going into the 4th hit for Anonymous 5. Even if we get a back-to-back triples from Anonymous 5, they would just be left with 12 stars, and so Aphelion Esports would really only need to put up another walk-away 2-star performance to guarantee advance, but even a 1-star with a high percentage would be enough, since they have right now looks like a 6.8 average destruction lead over Anonymous 5.
Cool, but let me hype Anonymous 5 a little bit. Just give them the chance of coming back.
Okay.
Give them the possibility. No, I'm kidding. To be honest, it is as you said. Like, it is as you said. It is looking really good for Aphelion Esports. They're looking already like getting that win, so that is nice. And yeah, their attack looked really strong, so now let's see how they can make their last attack work. And wait, Anonymous 5 is in, and we have the Inferno Dragons, Dragon Riders, and Dragons in, getting that bait with some lightnings. That's interesting. We're not seeing the lightnings too often in this combination. We have 7 lightnings overall, which means maybe a scatter is going to be the target, but let's see what he's coming up with.
Yeah, nice entry point here on the bottom corner, taking down the Eagle Artillery with just a little super wall breaker to crack in here. These 2 Sui heroes are going to have some nice, big, juicy targets to lock on. If they can get down that enemy Eagle, or that enemy Archer Queen, that's going to be great value here. But nope, she's been distracted by a piercing strike from the center. The skeleton spell there is going to pull her away, and Shellac is going to be missing out on a chance to get a big enemy hero down. He pops the Queen's ability, takes a few pop shots off, she's chasing him in the middle, boom, manages to get it after all, and these dragons are going to have a big sigh of relief to breathe now as they make their way toward the top corner. This is a much better planned entry point here for Anonymous 5, and they are going to go all the way to the town hall on this initial strike. The first star about to be claimed, and the second one right afterwards, Itsu.
Yeah, the blimp, is it going to get the town hall? That's the question. The loons are getting spawned, and yes, the town hall is going down. The dragons are trying to push back inside, but yet again, we have quite a big back and double multi-inferno tower defending Warden, and to expose all of that still left alive. So the Royal Champion has not an easy task at all in front of her, and they're just trying to somehow keep pushing forward, keep pushing to get this next 3-star. But so far, it's not really looking too promising. The Inferno Dragons and the 1 Dragon on the outside are trying their best to collect more percentage and more biddings. But the back-end Elephants, the back-end Royal Champion, everything's staying alive for now. With that rage, I don't think this is going to change too much. And you are right, this is another defense for Aphelion. And this is pretty much it. Getting their 8th star in this match, it's not going to be enough to win against Aphelion.
Yeah, that back end was fat with a big PH. Itsu. Big, thick defenses for Shellac to try to get through here, but Emma was holding on strong and did not give up that 3rd star. Congrats once again to Aphelion Esports on not just picking up those offensive victories, but holding big defensive wins as well against Anonymous 5 with an 11-8 scoreline. Now we see just an easy opportunity to get 1 more star by Aphelion Esports rather, to advance toward the playoffs. This is a big advantage. The glorious moment now for Aphelion Esports, the last attack of this war, of this last chance qualifier for the Clash Masters, and it looks like they're going to have an easy time parading back to their capital, victorious in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, that's exactly how it looks like. You're 100% right. And looking forward to see the strategy which they're going to use in this last attack. Hopefully a lalo attack. I have to say, the lalo attack which they did earlier with the lightnings and everything, that one looked awesome. It looked awesome to watch, and I hope they're going to do something again with that strategy, because that looked impressive. Now they're coming in with Queen Charge Dragon Riders. That's alright as well. Let's see where they're trying to enter, how they're going to try to Queen Charge. An interesting looking base, especially the single Inferno Tower around the town hall. Looks quite interesting. There are a couple of black mines, but this blimp is going to reach its target. And now the question is, where is he going to Queen Charge? Is he going to Queen Charge in that multi-Inferno Tower on the 9 o'clock side, or into the Eagle? But so far, it looks like the Inferno Tower is the next target. Clan Castles getting loot over. Poison should be dropped. There we go. And this opener is already looking pretty solid.
Yeah, he takes down the scatter shot, an air sweeper, a wizard tower, and an expo. Pretty big defensive setup there over on the bottom left that is eliminated with that battle blimp. A bit of a risky play here from Garakuta, but since this is the 5th and final attack by Aphelion Esport, you would expect that the planning has been done perfectly to ensure that that was exactly what he needed on the sentry point. Throwing away the siege machine early on, though, does mean that he doesn't have any clear and decisive way to take down that town hall later if something goes wrong. So I would expect to see an attack from the top corner here, supporting this Archer Queen as she makes her way toward the center of the base. That single target Inferno could give her a little bit of problem. No! He's going to come from the bottom corner instead, going for the reverse clockwise attack. Garakuta is making a risky stab in here. He does know that he only needs 1 star to guarantee victory for Aphelion Esports, so that might be the reason why he's willing to make this risky entry point. But if it pays off, he will get all 3 stars, and he is going to be very happy about that indeed.
I mean, this is not looking good at all for him, because the queen did not go into the town direction as he was hoping for. Instead, she's going to the core. He has the royal champion left, yes, but there's a queen behind the town hall. If there are skeleton traps, this is not good news for him at all. The queen ability is not available anymore, and the queen is going down. There's the king now. Is the king and the royal champion going to get the town? That's the question. I mean, the queen did get great value. The back-end town hall, which is the biggest threat at this point. If his heroes can take down the town hall, he is still looking alright, with the Dragon Riders being able to take down all of the back-end damage onto the heroes. King is walking in. He has 1 invisibility spell left. He's using that freeze. Can he make that?
I think he's got it after all, Itsu. He's got the king up top with all 4 of those Dragon Riders on their last leg. They go down back to back to back to back, but the town hall has been eliminated. 17 seconds left to try to clear up the last bit of buildings on the outer edge. King is making a heroic march to finish off that dark barracks, and that's going to be it. Garakuta well rewarded with the triple on the last strike. The most risky play of this entire day. But the Clash Masters quarterfinals does not disappoint. Aphelion Esports will finish off with 14 stars to their name for that playoff qualifying performance. Congratulations to them. A great hit and well-rewarded risky play.
It was quite risky, you have to say, especially after we have seen the queen is going the wrong way, and he was like, guys, I'm just starting from the bottom side. Everything looks all right. Staying in this, like you're saying, concentrated, this is quite impressive. Taking the risk and getting his team the victory. 14 stars is quite an impressive star amount. And, I mean, they have to face tomorrow, I believe, against Alternate then, where 14 stars might not be enough. But either way, we have now the last attack coming in from Anonymous 5. And they are going to try to get that 3-star on the board, at least to have a nice way out of the tournament.
Well, it is going to be their final performance with the elimination of Anonymous 5. Aphelion Esports will be moving on to the playoffs next week, but they're going to have one more chance to show us what they've got. Capping out at a potential 11 stars, Anonymous 5 really fell flat-footed with their offense in this war. They're going to have one more chance to use the Super Witches, though, and see if they can redeem themselves with this final strike. Marcy 9 has had a lot of time to prepare, but will this plan be able to go off without a hitch against a base that is so spread out, really all the way to the outer edges? That is going to be a long path to travel for these Super Witches. Only one jump spell again here to bring against a lot of little tiny compartments on the interior. Are we going to find the entry point that Anonymous 5 sought on their last Super Witch strike? or will they be frustrated again? But then even if they do get a good entry point, will they have enough time to get through the 3-star, Itsu?
Yes, it's going to be interesting because the Warlock already is taking quite a bit of time, and we know Super Witches, as you mentioned earlier, are quite a slow troop to approach the base. The Leader Hut behind the Inferno Tower is delaying things even longer, and there are the Super Witches starting. This time around, though, the Queen is going in the same direction as those Super Witches, hopefully. The King on the outside, making sure that everything is funneled correctly. And now the Super Witches are entering the base. We remember he has bats for the back end, so that's something really important to note. There's the jump spell, and there's that blimp. He's relying on that blimp, taking down the Town Hall. When is he going to use the vulnerability? Just last second, and there we go. Tornado Trap should be no problem, hopefully, and yep, there it go. Oh, wait a second, the NATO Trap is over there, actually. Can the NATO make a difference now? That's the question, Woody.
Hard to tell. There's just so few troops on the map right now, but every single one of them can be very impactful. Marcy trying to crack through at this multi-target Inferno over in the left corner, but it's got a compartment all to its own, jumping right into there thanks to that spell that he had set up. But it is going to be a long march through the back end of this base, and with just over a minute remaining, I think it will in fact be a problem of time. Big Tesla farm pops up in the bottom corner to defend that Eagle artillery, and even with the support of the Royal Champion over there on the bottom right side of this hit, they are going to have to collapse in awfully fast. Lots of spell support to help out these bats and keep them well insulated from the Wizard Towers, but can they get the damage in time? 45 seconds left determines the outcome of this attack, Itsu.
Yeah, he's relying on those bats to finish off the base, but they're dying out quickly with 35 seconds left. I'm not sure that this is going to be enough. There's still quite a few defenses left, and those defenses are completely spread out, which is bad for his cleanup, because this means they're all about to be taken down, and this means Anomalous 5 is not going to get this victory. The Queen ability is getting some more buildings, but to be honest, this is not going to get those 3 stars, those 100%, which would have been needed to secure the 3rd star, which means we have Aphelion Esports moving into the next round with a really impressive showing. Overall, one attack which did not work out as planned, but except that one attack, overall the attacks were super impressive. As I said, their Lalo attacks were really nicely executed, and I'm looking forward to see them back tomorrow, because this is today just the 2nd day of this Last Chance Qualifier. Tomorrow we'll keep going with more matches, but we obviously have more matches today as well, Woody.
Well, Anonymous 5 are going to have to march away, maybe hanging their heads, but I think that they ought to hold them high. Clash Masters quarterfinal is no easy feat to march away victoriously from, but with advancement here now, Aphelion Esports has guaranteed their placement in the playoffs, screaming a battle cry, hoo-yah, as they get their win. They are going to have to go up against alternate attacks, as you mentioned, but even though they are going to have a tough time in the seeding match tomorrow in the semis, they will still advance to the playoffs regardless. So victory for them today was all that mattered. We've got 2 more wars left today where we are going to watch CR Betis against Repotted Gaming. So keep an eye out for that shortly after this upcoming break. We hope that you'll stick with us and see more great Clash in action coming at you soon. Welcome back to the Clash Masters. It is our last chance qualifier and the final opportunity to make it onto the playoffs. Our next battle has got two great clans, and I've already seen some of their fans in chat cheering them on. CR Betis versus Repotted Gaming will be the next two to square off for their chance at the playoffs. My name is Woody, and I'm joined here by Itsu. How you doing, man? What are you looking forward to about this next war?
I mean, I'm looking forward to see the performance of Repotted Gaming since they're like a German team. So I know them already for quite some time, and seeing them, they're getting like higher and higher in those competition at the moment is obviously like a cool thing, especially showcasing how strong the German community is. So this, I think, the thing which I'm going to look at, but at the same time, their opponent is going to be a really strong one. Not an easy match at all. But at the same time, looking forward to see this match happening, especially considering that the matches which they had before this one, they were quite high stars. Like both teams scored 13 stars coming into this matchup, which is a good sign for us because we're going to witness a lot of action, a lot of stars hopefully, and a crazy close matchup.
Well, right you are, and reaching back even into the early days of Clash of Clans esports with the performance of great clans like Dark Looters, we can really recall the success of the German clans marching up to today, where the reigning champions now with alternate attacks can hold that top spot. But are there other clans that can measure up to the success of alternate attacks? A chance now to give Repotted Gaming an opportunity on defense against a really strong team as well. CR Betis was successful over GH Rest, a squad that we saw performing at the top levels, and even getting a victory over MCES, a world's vice champion team that was seeking to get their qualification for the playoffs here today. They were denied by CR Betis. So will that be enough of an opportunity to keep them ahead over Repotted Gaming, another surging German squad? Diego Jorge will be the first striker for CR Betis with a La Lune hit. The Archer Queen, with her ability now to pop down that Town Hall, will get a good entry point as these Sui heroes will take down not just that Town Hall, but also air defenses and many more in the top corner.
Yeah, I think it would be great to take down the Skittish as well. Like, this is the thing what he's like going for, and it looks like he can take down the Skittish, which is huge moving forward. And the next thing what I want to talk about as well, because we touched on this quite a few times already earlier in the matches, is the strategy choice. Like we saw so many times, people are going in early with like air spam, for example, like dragon-based attack strategies, but Green Real Betis is going like, hey guys, just going in lalo first, this is our thing, let's just do it. And this is something really impressive to watch. So let's see, he's using that warden ability, but I feel like not oh! Did you see those headhunters flying around, not getting where they were supposed to go? So great spring traps, but the queen is still going down. But is this base going down as well? A lot of traps, but a lot of loons still left. Woody.
Yeah, I think this base is totally done and dusted. Diego Jorge had some great heads-up plays early on. He saw a Tesla farm popping out in that bottom left side and dropped a couple of quick-fire balloons to neutralize that threat. On top of that, he got a big complement of balloons to support the lava hounds that were soaring in from the left corner down to the bottom, and gave a great offensive showing here. Now there are no more defenses left to stop the remaining troops. Just a couple of pups over on the left corner trying to slow down the minions and pups from cleanup. But 47 seconds is a pretty long time. He has got a balloon over on the right side corner, and as long as it doesn't get taken down by a sneaky bomb or trap out there, it should be enough to finish off what remains on the outer edge down there. And then, of course, that top left side with just one Elixir storage left is not going to put up much of a fight. So great job here to CR Betis, starting off with a triple against Repotted Gaming.
Yeah, really strong start into this matchup. Really great attack with that lalo. And I mean, it's obviously always cool seeing those lalo attacks, especially considering that you know how hard it's going to, like it is executing those. But now we have the next attack coming in from Repotted Gaming. After Sam, looking forward to see what they're coming in with. Because strategy-wise, we see, as I said, a lot of dragon attacks early. Are they going the same route, or are they going in like CR Betis with some lalo early? That's the big question I'm wondering about, but either way, we're going to see that in just a couple of seconds, Woody.
Yeah, I think this bodes really well for CR Betis that they were able to put together such a complicated and intricate attack right out of the gate with their first strike, and to get the 3 stars for it. That just leaves more planning time for the other 4 attackers there to sit through and think about their plan and to execute perfectly when it's their chance to go up. This is really going to put the pressure onto Repotted Gaming, who, even though we haven't seen any offense from them yet, we know that they are going to have 3 stars up against them from that first hit by CR Betis. And they are really going to have to keep pace against an army that is marching forward at an incredible rate. So let's see what Janis has with his first strike for Repotted Gaming. It's going to be Laloon as well.
Oh.
And a Sui one at that, indeed, Itsu.
Oh, Skelly Donut, Skelly Donut, let's see. I mean, the Skelly Donut strategy is such a powerful thing, but it's such a risky move as well. Is he going to get the Clan Cast and the Skeleton Shot? That's the question. The Skeletons, yes, there we go. Nice Skeleton Donut to start the attack off. And this means there is no Clan Caster left in this base, which means those heroes are going to be even stronger than normally. And this entry is looking good. If this queen, and that's the thing, I don't think, is the queen going the right way? That's the question.
Oh, get some help from the Royal Champion, tossing that shield off, and that's going to be just enough. Big early investment, though, from Janis, I gotta say. Throwing all those spells at the Clan Castle and the Scatter Shot, then tossing up the Royal Champion as well. Royal Champion and the Archer Queen are often used for cleanup along the outer final wave of the base, so using them early on in this way really suggests that Janis has got a clear strategy to finish off the remainder here in spectacular fashion, especially with a Scatter Shot over in the right corner and an Eagle Artillery in the top corner. This is going to be a long march for success, but still with a lot of forces left to do it. I think he has got a good opportunity for victory here now, Itsu.
Yeah, it's looking really good. The biggest threat to this Lalo still left at this point is the defending queen. She has not a lot of hit points left, but still, she has to be taken down. The Royal Champion has been taken down as well on the left side. Warden ability is covering everything. And now the Headhunters are going to take down the defending queen as well. This is looking really good. He has 1 freeze left, which he can use for the back end for those dunes, making sure they're getting quick into that last Scatter Shot, because the Scatter Shot is the only thing which has a chance of defending this. And wait a second, so far everything is dodging that Scatter, but to be honest, Woody, I think it's just too many loons for the defenses to handle.
Yeah, this is really an overwhelming performance here from Janis. Congratulations, all because of the strength of that initial strike, the Skelly Donut, and those heroes going hard on that bottom corner of the base, knocking down some really key defenses and presenting a perfect positioning for the remaining Balloons and Lava Hounds to soar in from the top with little resistance. Congrats to Janis and the squad from Repotted Gaming. They're keeping that war tight with a 3-3 scoreline now against CR Betis, who will have their second chance to strike back.
Yeah, it's, wow, like both teams are starting off with Lalo. That is so cool to watch. And we have then the next attack now again, coming in just a couple of seconds. And I mean, if you're starting off with Lalo, are you ever going to use those Dragon or Dragon Rider spammy attacks? That's the big question. I'm really looking forward to see more Lalo attacks in this match. This would be cool to see. And I cannot wait for the next attack to get started. But those attacks as well, they're so quick. They're so quick with those Lalo attacks. The cleanup is always on point, making sure they're getting those 3 stars. And this, for today, is the first match which we have seen, which is starting on both sides with 3 stars. Like so far, we have seen alternate starting with 3 stars, but their opponents with a 1 star. And then the match which we just had with Aphelion, 3-star start, but their opponents with a 2-star. So this is the first match with a double 3-star start. So really excited to see how it's going to move on.
I am too. I'm still holding out hope that we get another fancy Queen Charge entry for a Dragon Rider attack later on, but maybe not. Maybe we just switch instead to these real fancy hits. I remember from last week, we had an amazing bronze match that saw some very intricate attacks that used very off-meta hits. But indeed, Fed will not disappoint. The second attack from CR Betis will be the Queen Charge entry into the Dragon Rider main army.
Yeah, that's looking like the entry. The question is going to be, where is he going to wall break? He has the option of wall breaking to the Town Hall, which to be honest is not looking like the best choice, but he could wall break into the scatter compartment as well. But first off, this queen has to go the right way. So far, it looks good. He's going to wall break into this really long channel. Just take a look at that channel. He can reach so many things. At the same time, it's always the same way around. When you can reach a lot of things, it's most likely that a lot of things can reach you as well as queen. And that's never a good thing, typically. But hey, let's see if we can somehow keep his queen alive and make this attack work, Woody.
Well, Queen's got great range. She may be taking a lot of fire from those ground targeting expos, but she is staying topped off thanks to the excellent spell support on those healers. He's going to crack into that left corner now, but that compartment is not going to be targeted by the Archer Queen. Instead, I'm guessing that he's going to send in maybe the Royal Champion over there, although she can jump over walls, so I'm not entirely sure why he would have cracked open that compartment. Nevertheless, though, Fed is going to have a Barbarian King in the top corner with the Royal Champion up there now. So Battle Blimp going on against the Town Hall will be the first star to claim for Fed. Single target Inferno right behind suggests that he's going to have a lot of small troops spread out. Those sneaky goblins, you might not be able to see them, but they are doing massive damage against that Town Hall on the backside and claim the first star, as well as triggering the Tornado Trap. Pretty good news for Fed here to start off his attack.
Wow, this attack already looks crazy. Like, just throw a champion and king value at the top side. This was beautiful. But now the question is, are those Dragon Riders going to be able to power through the back end? There's the vulnerability blocking those eager shots, but are the Black Mines coming in soon? That's the question. But so far, it looks like all of the Black Mines are against this queen charge. One more red bomb, and this queen is done. She has her ability, yes, and he has to use that. But the Royal Champion is now engaging over there. Queen is taking her down without any problems. There is another rage for the Dragon Riders, and this base is looking... Wait a second, is it looking crushed? That's the question. The queen is dying and the freeze is wasted. What is happening? Is he throwing it away?
Hold on. He's taking a lot of damage here. He still has 2 Dragon Riders. They're going to be soaking some shots from this Archer Tower, but it's really just this air defense at the back end that is going to be the biggest problem. Now, if the Dragon Rider and the long range from that Grand Warden are going to be enough to finish off the single target Inferno, he might still have a shot here. He's got some Headhunters on the ground, Wizards as well, to provide some additional cleanup. If that cannon goes out, I think that they might just have enough swarming troops to finish off the single target Inferno. It can deal a lot of damage, but not against a big swarming army like this. So great job here to Fed. He brought it really close at the end with 0 seconds left, but the 3-star is good after all. I'm glad that I didn't have my eyes focused on the timer, or else I probably would have been going insane in that last moment there, Itsu. Wow, that's going to be one for the replay reel to check out later.
Yeah, like the time going on 0, and then like the last lava pups, last minions and everything, getting the Inferno Tower was a close one. But hey, another 3-star on the board for Cream Real Bettis, and this means now it's back to Reported to come in with their next attack. So let's see which team is going to get the lead early. We have pretty much same story as nearly every qualifier so far, where the team which is getting the lead early is most likely to keep that lead over the entirety of the match. So it's important to get that lead first, because most of the time you're going to keep it. So let's see which team is going to make that work first, because so far we have the perfect streak. But can Reported go perfect as well against Green Rebettis? That's the question. And they're bringing yet again the Lalo Blizzard this time around. They're having 5 invisibility spells, which is telling me that they're going for some sort of Blizzard entry. Interesting tester form, but they're trying to go in. Wait, where are they trying to go? And go in the dead zone with wall break? Is it wall break? Is it wall break? Rage? No. What? They cannot. Oh, there's the wall break.
Yeah,
okay, there was a wall break.
Yeah. But only on the top side walls.
Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, that was a very interesting entry point nonetheless. Itsu and I are both a little bit flabbergasted by how that happened, but managed to crack through the top layer of walls there and enter that compartment where they took down the enemy Archer Queen. So nice entry point here for Klinge. Also want to give a shout out there to Jordan Inglis from that last match. He showed that the wall breakers were cracking open in multiple compartments. So very good cascading strike there from CR Bettis in the last hit. But Repotted Gaming, what is the plan here? It is a very intricate one and complicated right out the gate with a quick charge straight to the core and knocking down some really key structures, but spending a lot of time on it. The Archer Queen in the top corner has got some support from the Unicorn, but no healers to keep her going. So she's just meant to take down that Town Hall and provide a little bit more funneling of an entry point now for the Lava Hound Balloon Army to follow up. He's holding on to a few spells here, sends one in to keep that Archer Queen hidden in the invisibility radius, but doesn't manage to keep her undercover the entire time there. Expo continues the lock on. She will knock down the Town Hall, and with the King charging through the left corner, that's a big hit off this base. But we have got to get going quick because there's only a minute and 18 now to finish off with the Lava Hound charge here, Itsu.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy, especially those tests on the right side are not like taking on those loons quite a bit. But the base already is, not that much left at this point. The warden ability nicely to cover all of those loons. And now those loons are making it into the core of this base. He has the freeze, he has the haste, he has everything to make sure that this attack can work. The red bombs, although, they're coming in as well. And they're hitting hard, hitting those loons.
Oh, man.
This was so close.
That was massive flash damage.
What?
More balloons down, Itsu! Huge hits against this offense,
going to be easy.
And unfortunately for Klinga, he's actually going to keep that Lava Hound up the entire time. I think that he was hoping that the Hound would pop, give him some more pups with additional damage for the cleanup on the outer edge. Oh, it does manage to pop. Okay, Seeking Air Mine goes off, and that's going to give him a little bit more damage here, but only 20 seconds for cleanup and getting distracted by enemy heroes and skeletons. I don't think he's got enough time to finish it off for the triple, Itsu.
Those red bombs were incredible, taking down the loons, making sure that this is actually a defense, even though it's only about time. Power-wise, this would have been enough, but it's going to be a 96% 2-star. So we have the team which is getting the lead early, which is Cream Real Bandits, and they so far looked strong, but this time around it is a time difference which is securing that defense for them. So looking forward to see if it's going to be the same story yet again like we had so far most of the time in those qualifiers, where the team which is getting the lead early is getting that win at the end. They need to keep putting up the pressure because reported so far, you have to say, we're looking incredible strong. This was just an unfortunate ending right there. On the other side, it was incredible good trap placement. Those red bombs hitting hard, making sure those loons had no chance getting through the core. This was for sure the difference maker in this attack.
Yep, Kelvin over in Twitch chat put it best, a wicked defense. Whenever the base has still a lot left, you got to question whether it was the fault of the attacker or the strength of the defense that got the job done. But whenever there's just a tiny little bit of base left, and it was all thanks to the trap placement, you know that the attacker did everything that they could to get the strategy set up for that base properly. But nonetheless, the defense still managed to hold on. So that win definitely thanks to the excellent base building skills by the squad over at CR Betis. And they now get an opportunity to push that lead even further. A 1-star advantage, but can El Tano put the nail in the coffin, deliver a crucial, decisive blow against the defenses now from Timtastic. Repotted Gaming defending now with a Town Hall over in this right side corner that looks to be taking some big hits early on. More Sui hero strikes to support the funneling for these hits early on. A great wall breaker crack over into that compartment will give that Archer Queen access, but can she get through these CC troops and still hold on strong?
That's a good question. This Lava Hound engaging over there is not a good sign, but the Unicorn yet again. I feel like this Unicorn on those hero dives is such a big game changer, because as long as there's not too much damage on that Queen, the Unicorn is just going to heal up everything again. Like, it's just crazy. And yet again, the base looks so empty. I feel like, yeah, sure, we have the left side with the Eagle, but that's where the Lalo is starting from. The Sweeper is pointing into the wrong direction. The Queen is going to get that Town Hall, going to get the other Sweeper. And this, yet again, is looking so good for El Tano. And more loons are coming in. More loons are supporting everything. The Headhunters are coming in as well to take down the defending Royal Champion. And there is a Scatter Shot and there is a Multi left alive, but there's a Slammer as well, tanking the back end Scatter. So I don't know, it's looking pretty good yet again.
Yeah, looking very, very good for El Tano. A huge entry point followed up with a rapid, quick offense out the gate. Stone Slammer has just annihilated these defenses and really given the perfect entry point for the remaining balloons. They don't have a lot more ground left to travel, and that is going to be an overwhelming victory for CR Betis. The attacks just get stronger and stronger from this squad, and even with traps triggering here at the last stage here, it's not going to be enough to deny this dragon out on the bottom side from getting the cleanup that it sought. El Tano gets the 3-star, and CR Betis is in a dominant position here now, Itsu.
Yeah, they're looking really strong. Those Lalo attacks, they look so easy, but they're so strong. And those heroes getting that much value looks incredible. Making sure this unicorn is keeping the queen alive, even through defending Lava Hound, that's no problem whatsoever. Taking out the sweeper, taking out the town hall, and then the Lalo was just able to clean things up easily. Really nice attacks, and now reported really need to get that next 3-star in if they want to stay inside this match. We remember this match right now, the same as the other matches today, they're going to decide if you're moving into the playoffs, and that's where the big prize money is on the line. So getting into the playoffs, winning this matchup, because this is like the thing which you have to do to get into the playoffs. This is like the big match to win, to achieve getting the top 4 position. And it's not going to be an easy one, but Reported needs to get more 3-stars in to have a chance staying inside this match, because Green Red Betis so far are looking impressive, Woody.
Oh yeah, they sure are. It was 3 hard weeks of competition for Nishang Dance, the Queen Walker, Space Station HT family to get their qualifications, but the Last Chance Qualifier, even though it's a bit risky, even though it's a bit volatile, you may not know how the bracket's going to shape up, but if you do well this week, that's all you need to go on to the playoffs. And boy, are CR Betis doing really well. Betis picked up victories over Gensan Team, Turn River, and Crazy Clasher Squad, as well as GH Rest, a big name in the Clash Masters previous weeks. But Repotted Gaming doesn't seem to be putting up too much of a fight for them. I'm also noticing some under-leveled defenses here by Fed. I wonder what's up with that. Those mortars do not look like they are putting out full defensive firepower here, Itsu.
I mean, first off, it was a really cool idea yet again to bring the wall break and make sure this blizzard is getting quite a bit of value. But yeah, those mortars, I mean, it is rough, but to be honest, Supercell is not giving this defense too much love. So yeah, mortars are being quite useless in Clash of Clans, to be honest. Unfortunate. So yeah, not upgrading them is not the worst thing to happen, but it is always looking kind of funny because they're looking so out of place. Out of the defense now in this, they're tiny, and I mean, out of like the defense, the design of Tournament 14, and they're looking so out of place. It looks kind of funny, but either way, the attack is getting into the interesting phase where we have the heroes diving into the core. Take a look at the next wall break. He's trying to get into the core of this base, imagine he's going to get that core down with his heroes, which it looks like so far. And then oh, wait a second, the Seeky Goblins for the town hall there went for the gold storage. This tower is going to be interesting. He needs to, wait a second, the tower is not going down. This is bad news for him. Half the base is gone, but can he make this work now with the town hall? Because the town hall staying alive is super bad news for him.
Bad news, but he still has a lot of troops left, and if he chooses to send him in over in the right corner, he ought to be able to get it down nonetheless. Archer Queen's taking a beating in the core here, and with a giant bomb exploding, she is all but finished off. X-Bow lock on her is going to be really difficult to get through, but Tim Tastic has got a plan for that right side corner, drops the free spells, and will continue sending them in as best he can. Balloons are making their final entry point. Hey, spell is out, the Eternal Tome, and they have done it! Crashing straight onto the town hall, they get the bomb drops, and that is going to be it. Free spell is out, and all of the offense stacked onto that last corner have finally managed to get the 3-star done. Tim Tastic had a long way to go, but he closed the gap, and Repotted Gaming will get another 3-star to stay in this fight against CR Betis. It's an advantage for the Spanish squad. CR Betis up to now 9 stars over 8, but Repotted Gaming ain't going down without a fight, Itsu.
Wow, what was that attack? He swagged 13 Seeky Goblins just to get the Town Hall, to not get the Town Hall at the end of the day. So, those heroes, they took down the entire left side of the space. This was so impressive. Those heroes were not about to die. This is right now kind of the thing where you can see the difference between of good and decent teams to those really good teams which actually can make good use of their heroes, because the heroes is the most broken thing on Town Hall 14. If you can get good value out of them, like we just saw, I mean, the core of this base, I feel like the heroes, only the heroes with a couple of supportive troops, went from the 8 o'clock side all the way towards the other side of the base, through the core of this base. I mean, what is going on? And this is making those attacks so powerful. And I mean, the Lalo looked beautiful as well. He was swagging those sneaky goblins, like, don't even need them. Still, getting this 3-star at the end was a truly impressive attack.
Right, you are it too. And you know, I'm an economist by education, and so I look at this like a resource management type of situation, right? The more damage you can get out from each individual unit, the more value you get there. And so even if you do have a little bit of a tricky situation along the back end, if you have got your heroes all the way from the complete outer edge of the base right into the core, that is so much value that you can afford to have a little slip up here and there and throw away a few army camp space toward an attack approach that doesn't really necessarily pay off all the time. Nonetheless, Repotted Gaming do get the triple, and it's going to be back to Benny now to try to keep his team in the lead. With a perfect war so far, CR Betis has got a lot going for them, and with plenty of time to plan for this next strike, you would expect great things, and he is not going to disappoint. It's the Log Launcher, first one that we've seen today to support this Ice Hound balloon hit. We are going to go in with Sui Heroes to begin with, taking a big stab at that enemy Eagle Artillery and knocking it down. Moving in against a multi-target Inferno, and that thing is going to be burnt up itself. Benny, with a huge entry point, has really made the story for today. Big offense early on, and oh my goodness, lightning and earthquakes against the center, taking down a lot of troops from the CC and a multi-target Inferno as well, Itsu.
I mean, the Town Hall is the problem, I wanted to say. Because the Town Hall is not going down, and that's the big problem right there. The entry already looked awesome, but the Town Hall not going down was the big problem for him. He's hasting some loons in there. This might be the first defense which we see for Reported, because this Town Hall is just not going down. The haste was misplaced, which means the sweeper is pushing those loons away. Is the Town Hall even going down? That's the question. Those loons are dropping onto the Town Hall, getting it down. But now, taking down the rest of the base is not going to be easy. He had already invested quite a few spells. With only a couple of them left, Woody, it's not going to be easy at all.
Well, he still has a lot left. Let's give him a shot here. The Grand Warden supporting the balloons along the outer edge is good. Great timing on the Eternal Tome. He's doing everything right with what he's got left, but is it just going to be enough of an army to clear through a massive scatter shot, well protected by air defenses, archer towers, and wizard towers? Sinking air mine goes off, and that's not a problem for loons, but he just doesn't have any more offense to throw at this final compartment. A big obstacle still left standing on Janice's base. So congratulations to Repotted Gaming. Their defense is finally holding up against the overwhelming might so far from CR Betis. And actually with this 2-star strike, even in the mid 80%, that might have them now behind relative to Repotted Gaming. You can see the live average destruction calculation right there on the right side of the overlay. And it shows CR Betis now with just a 96.5% average destruction. They'll be able to get a few more out of these outside buildings, but I think now this is going to be the crucial opportunity for a 3-star by Repotted to put them back in the lead.
Yeah, this match so far has to be one of the most impressive ones we had in this competition, in this tournament, because like we said, we have seen so many air attacks in this Bammy version, you want to say, with like those dragons, dragon riders, inferno dragons, things like that. But those teams, it seems like both teams before the match agreed on that they want to at least use 4 out of 5 attacks with Lalo. That is so cool to have this seen in this matchup, and that's quite impressive from both teams right there. We have now Reported yet again getting their attack in just a couple of seconds. And as I said, they need to 3-star. If they're 3-star, they're getting the lead on their favor. And this would be a small comeback, even though we have then again more attacks to come. So the match obviously not being over, but at least it would be a lead going into the last attack each.
Yeah, small comeback is certainly an understatement. whenever you see a war start off decisively with the first 3 strikes, putting CR Bettis ahead with a perfect war to begin with, for Repotted Gaming to go toe-to-toe with him, and then on the 4th hit to be able to make a chance at a comeback, that is a big opportunity now. Mech is going to have to hope that he has got the metal to stay through this fight to the very end, though, because with a very deeply spread out base and 3 tricky Inferno towers set up near the center, and then 1 single next to that Town Hall. This is a really difficult entry point. We see those air defenses also not very neatly spread out in any sort of a symmetrical fashion. Instead, a lot toward the center next to that Archer Queen, but then also one really far on the outside edge that could be really difficult to get through here. So very good base building set up by Diego Jorge, but will Mech be able to get the job done? Queen Charge going straight through the center with the log launcher support is going to be able to knock down these base defenses next to the Town Hall, but is it going to be enough, Itsu?
I think this Dragon Rider was clutch because he needed to take that down. On the other side, though, he needs to take down the Multi-Inferno Tower. And he has Rocket Loons flying in, taking down the Multi-Inferno Tower. Really smart move right there. And now, like, let me allow this phrase again, but where is that base? Like, are you kidding? That base just disappeared. The entire top left side is gone. The invisibility spell. Okay, he's trying to troll just a little bit because this invisibility spell was way too late. But he has so many spells left. The headhunters are jumping over. This time the invisibility spell is in time, taking down the single Inferno Tower now. And this base is just getting wrecked by this approach. The log launcher, awesome job getting it done. The Queen into that direction, and he's using that Dragon Rider to funnel the top side and getting it the air defense out of the way. So awesome job right there. And this means it's yet again the 3-star. This means the match has been turned around. At least four attacks each. And this means the last 2 attacks are going to be interesting.
The Mech Warrior! The Master Blaster! Mech from Repotted Gaming gets the 3-star and puts his squad in the lead now! 11 stars total and an average destruction of 99% means that CR Bettis have been sent down. They are now behind with only 1 attack each. They need that triple to keep that chance alive. They'll have to get a 3-star victory and then a defensive pickup against Repotted Gaming if they want to get the win here, or else hope that they can get a higher 2-star. Unlikely to see 2-star strikes from both of these teams with such a high hit rate from both of them so far in this war, and especially with so much time to plan and prepare for their 5th attack. CR Bettis' chances just went really far down with a massive comeback hit by Repotted Gaming.
Yeah, and both teams pretty much used the same strategy so far. Both teams used 3 times Lalo and 1 time the Queen Charge Dragon Rider. So pretty much the same, exact same strategies which they used overall. So let's see if they're going the same yet again. Some more Lalo attacks to finish the match off, but this match so far is truly impressive. Both teams with incredible hit rates, as you said, at the same time with really creative and really good approaches towards those bases. We have the CR Bettis team going in first, and then Repotted hitting the second. So far, we can see it down below in the stats window over there. The difference right now is only a really small percentage lead. So everything can still happen, but those 2 last attacks are going to be the game-deciding factors. A 3-star, and this means that Repotted has a 3-star as well. And we're going to see a Queen Charge Lalo, which we have not seen today in this matchup so far.
Yeah, I'm happy to see the Queen Charge making another big opening now. Style is going to be moving in with just 1 Lava Hound for this strike, so expect to see him taking down 2 or maybe even 3 of these air defenses before he even gets his air troops set up. There's one that's easily accessible in the bottom corner, but with the rest of them all on the outer edge of the base, he should have a relatively easy time at finishing them off. Maybe gets a Royal Champion on one of them, could send in the Stone Slammer against another one of them, and then with the final Lava Hound to protect the balloons against that last air defense, that should be a good plan for him. Sends in the Poison Spell to help against these CC troops. Can't quite get it locked onto the enemy Royal Champion right out the gate, but does manage to get it afterwards. Super minions flying high, though, dodged that poison spell and are giving this Archer Queen a lot of trouble. She's being harried by multiple different defenses now, and is going to force out her ability as she makes her way toward that final compartment. She's going to get the lock on the scatter shot next, though, and with rage spell support, she has still got left some more fuel in the tank, Itsu.
Yeah, but I think he messed up. He wanted to use the second wall break to do a connection wall break. But yeah, that was unfortunate, some time which got wasted. But now the jump behind the town hall to take that down. But it is quite risky with having that queen ability gone. The queen is going for that warden, but it's coming back. And that's the important thing right there. Was a little bit afraid of that queen dodging that town hall. That would be bad news for him. But the Lalo is now starting in from the right side. The first group of loons is already getting hit by that red bomb. And the Lalo now from the top side is flying in. The queen has no ability left, which means it's most likely the end for her versus that defending king. The question is, which we all ask ourselves, Woody, is this going to be enough to overpower the back end?
He sent in headhunters with Eternal
Those
Tome support to take down that enemy Archer Queen. No! Where did they go? I thought that they were protected by the Eternal Tome, Itsu.
Yes, well, sad. I don't know if you want to say sadly, but the spring traps, they are ignoring the Eternal Tome ability, like the warden ability, which means they're getting spring trapped away. And this means the defending queen staying alive for a little bit longer, out of the traps, hitting hard. And this means it's another defense. Style is not getting it done. And this means Repotted has an incredible good shot at winning this match and getting into the playoffs.
That just one little hiccup is going to be the difference between victory and defeat for Style. Might have expected a bit more support from the Archer Queen in that bottom compartment as well. But with that enemy Archer Queen firing away and without the headhunters to finish her off, that was a lot of offensive support necessary to finish off the top compartment. And CR Betis, even though they started out this war incredibly strong, 3 stars in a row, they now have fallen behind in the war against Repotted Gaming. 13 stars total, and with a 95.6 average destruction. That is an impressive scoreline for a top scoring team, but leaves the door wide open for Repotted Gaming. Now, if Repotted Gaming get the 3-star, they guarantee victory. A 2-star means that we will go down to that tiebreaker average destruction, but with a pretty impressive 3.4% average destruction lead off of their first 4 attacks, Repotted Gaming have a lot of room left to make that gap closed, Itsu.
That's right. So let's see what strategies they are going to bring to the table. And they have a Queen Charged Dragon Rider to finish off the match. One of the strongest attack strategies right now in the game. And a lot of pros like to run this. So we have the Queen Charge starting off strong, getting wall break into that skeleton compartment. But then obviously the question is, where is he going to send in those other troops of his army? He has the king, which is going to probably use for that eagle, and the royal champion as well for that multi-inferno tower on the bottom side of your screen. And then that queen with that locked launcher together into the town hall compartment. There we go, the locked launcher is starting, rolling his logs, rolling across, hitting those walls, opening up the wall to make sure that this queen is actually reaching that town hall. Question is though, when is he going to start that king? There the king is. Royal champion as well at the bottom side. And this as an entry, Woody, already is looking pretty good.
Yeah, big wall crushing power from that log launcher rolling straight through and opening up these really big compartments. Bigger compartments are great news for a Queen Charge who will have free reign on everything in his sections. CC troops are going to be streaming out now, but with the poison spell on top, Andy has got the spell support necessary to finish them off. Big hits across the entirety of this base, and it's almost a 2-star before he even drops the Dragon Riders. Archer Queen has got a little bit of work left to do in the center before she will path her way toward the top. Activation for that Town Hall means, oh no, a missed pre-spell on the Town Hall. That's going to be a bit more burning action on those healers. They are going to need some ointment after that, but nevertheless, they are still alive and keeping that healer, keeping that Queen healed. I think that this is going to be cleared for landing. A 3-star looks very likely, Itsu.
Yeah, and even if this is not going to be a 3-star, it is going to be good percentage. And this is the thing which we were talking about. They only need percentage. Vulnerability just a couple of seconds later, I think, but either way, it's keeping the Dragon Riders safe for now. The Queen is actually dying in those giant bombs. As we said, those Dragon Riders, as long as they get good percentage, this is going to be enough, but there are so many Dragon Riders still left alive. It still might be a 3-star. The Inferno Tower is looking strong, though, beating those Dragon Riders, but they're taking the Inferno Tower down, and now it's all about the last couple of defense. This Tesla form is looking strong, but the Dragon Riders look stronger, and this means, Woody, we have another 3-star.
Wow, Andy surpasses the 2-star overall destruction tiebreaker and will also give an overwhelming finish here for the triple. Sneaky Goblin along the outer edge is dragging some skeletons along to distract these minions, but I think that there might still just be enough firepower with the remaining Dragon Riders and minions along the top to finish off for the triple. Andy has done it. 3 stars for Repotted Gaming, and the comeback is real. Throw them up on the board, and the final score will be a 14-13 scoreline in Repotted Gaming's favor. They will advance to the Clash Masters playoffs. An epic conclusion for a third war that really went the distance and kept these 2 top-ranked teams in contention until the final match. Congratulations to both of them, but ultimately, Repotted Gaming, your fan favorites, and the German community will be advancing on. Itsu, I think we're about to send it off, but any final thoughts before we take a quick break?
I mean, I think just the match was truly impressive to watch. We saw so many high skill attacks, and those 2 teams are like, they did a truly impressive showing for us. So thank you for that, obviously. And that was a nice match to watch, and I cannot wait for the last one, Woody.
Oh yeah, we have got 2 more excellent teams, Itsu. The last ones are going to be NON team up against Team Sex. So keep an eye out for that. Shortly, we will be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Clash Masters. We are in the last qualifier, the last chance qualifier, where our teams in the quarterfinals now have one more war to fight before they can advance on to the playoffs. My name's Woody, and I'm pleased to be joined once again by Itsu.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we have the last match on the way to see which team is going to be the last team to make it to the playoffs as well. Because so far, even though we don't have the final seeding just yet, but we have already 7 out of the 8 teams for the playoffs set. There's no change, but one team is still missing. We're going to find that out in this next matchup, Woody. So looking forward to see some crazy matches, but I think it's going to be hard to top that last match, but still. Looking forward to somehow getting proven wrong. But this is the bracket and how it looks like, Woody.
Take a look. Alternate Attacks, Aphelion Esports, and Repotted Gaming, each of them advancing to the semifinals in this last chance qualifier, mean that they have guaranteed placement in the playoffs for next week. We have just got one more war left today, where NON team will go up against Team Zex for that final semifinals opportunity. Tomorrow we'll have more matches to see these amazing teams compete for seeding in the playoffs. You certainly want to have better seeding if possible, because that will give you maybe easier matches going into that big final event. It's a $20,000 prize pool total for Clash Masters, and most of that's going to be given away next week in the playoffs, as well as a silver wild card ticket for the Clash of Clans World Championship Finals, an opportunity to compete against some of the other best clans from around the world that hadn't yet qualified for COC Worlds to go on to that $1 million prize pool event at the end of the year. So we are now in the downhill chance for qualification at the very end of the Clash Masters qualifiers, and one more war separates us from having that full 8-team squad set up for battle next week. It is going to be a great one, Itsu, and I've already taken a look at some of the teams that were defeated by our squads here in this last war. I'm noticing Indian Clashers putting up a good fight in an 11-13 loss against NON team. On the other side, Team Zex competing against S8UL, or maybe Seoul, which competed in previous weeks and had a really close 13-13 finish. So these teams competing now have had a hit rate around the 60% mark overall among their prior wars. So 14 stars could be enough to secure victory in this last encounter.
Yeah, we're starting things off with the Queen Charge Dragon Rider, but to be honest, this looks so far like the attack is not going according to plan, because my prediction would be that he planned to go into that Wizard Tower compartment and then into the town compartment, so the angle and how he's approaching this town hall might be a little bit different than what he expected. So let's see if this is still going to make a difference, or if it's just going to be whatever. There's the NATO rotating that queen. To be honest, not too far. Like, this NATO did not do anything to this attack, being able to take down the town hall without any problems. Question though is, when is he going to start with those Dragon Riders? It's already 1 minute into the attack, and we have the king getting started and the queen being in between our 2 Inferno Towers. That's not a good position to be in. He missed it.
Wow.
No, he missed the Inferno Tower. Oh no, Woody.
And that forced out a second freeze spell from Ong LY. Archer Queen still charging in hot, but man, with multiple Inferno Towers burning her out, that is going to be a lot of spell placement to keep her going. Healers are unfortunately just getting roasted by that multi-target Inferno in the top compartment. Really difficult for any attacking force to reach, and it looks like they're going to path around it entirely. That's going to be the end of those healers, and that Queen Charge is going to come to a conclusion shortly thereafter. Can the remaining troops clean up the rest of this base? There's still quite a lot on that back end. That final compartment with a multi-target Inferno and an air defense are going to be awfully difficult to get through. But don't count them out just yet. We still have a couple more spells to throw at these healers. And the last couple of Dragon Riders, big offensive troops, unfortunately have taken a lot of damage here for Arng. Can he power through and finish it off, Itsu?
That's a good question. He's trying his best. I think the last Dragon Rider just went down. The Royal Champion is about to fall as well. But the air defense did go down. Another question is, can this Inferno Dragon, with that Warden, with that Owl together, take down the back? And the Loon is getting the connection, the owl, the warden is flying over, and this means there is no air targeting troops or defenses left, and this means that non-team is getting the first 3. Wait a second, the multi-inferno tower.
Hold on,
Wait
there's a multi-target
about
inferno
that
on
one.
the back. 20 seconds left. They've got to make a mad dash toward that multi-target inferno. He sends in the sneaky goblin for a bit more chip damage on the Electro storage, and then the super wall breaker to try to crack open that compartment could give an opportunity for the headhunters to give a little bit. No! Trapped, triggering all over the place. Minions annihilated. Defensive skeletons distracting and taking out the Grand Warden. The multi-target inferno stands. Fire! Fire everywhere! Rita has done it with an impressive 2-star 99% defense. Team Zex will barely hold on with the last bit of defense, Itsu.
That was such a close one. I thought it would be a 3-star already, but I did not see the multi-inferno tower. And then as you said, so many air traps coming up over there. What an unfortunate ending. What an unfortunate ending. 99% 2-stars is going to be the star, and obviously this means we have the possibility for Team Zex to get that lead in the beginning. We already talked about it. It's a good thing to have that lead early, putting up the pressure on the other team and somehow maybe forcing some mistakes. But that was a close start, really unfortunate, but he was powering it through. 99% I think was still a pretty good result for that, and now it's up to the next team, to the next attacker, to get that 1% more to get that 3-star lead.
Wow, what a finish from that first hit. Great effort there by NON team, but just not going to be enough to clinch the 3-star. Ever so short, the 2-star 99% is everything you can do just short of that final goal. But Uzi, now on rapid fire mode, by Team Zex, moving in against the defensive setup by Boy Run. A scary, relatively symmetrical base here with a single and multi-target inferno right next to each other on the bottom central side. That could be a good opportunity for Uzi to freeze. He's brought 3 of those spells, as well as 1 jump spell to hop over these many layers of walls along the bottom side, trying to prevent any ground-based attack. But despite that best plan, it's still going to be a P.E.K.K.A. smash. 3 big ones moving in with 3 witches to support. Don't always see the witches as the complementing army here, but that will be what they've got this time. Pops open the battle blimp, and unfortunately for Uzi, he's going to force out that Archer Queen ability. Troops fall down to the ground, crashing into that single target inferno, and will finish it off. But with the CC pulled out, that Lava Hound could slow this Queen charge down quite a bit, Itsu.
Yeah, but I think he's totally alright now, taking down the Hound without any problems now. This is looking good entry-wise. A bit unfortunate that he lost his Queen over there. He did not want to invest that freeze for his Queen. And there's now the first wall break, leading his smash into those first compartments. The entry, I feel like, looks really good, but time as well is ticking. P.E.K.K.A. smash is quite quick, but at the same time... Wait a second, is this jump connecting? Is that jump connecting? No, it's not. Those P.E.K.K.A. have to go for a wall. Now the question is, where are they going for it? Woody, what is happening?
Jump spell will get them into that last compartment, but man, that is a lot to go up against. There are heroes. We are going to have an activated Town Hall Giga Inferno heating them all up. We have got protection from the Eternal Tome, though. Grand Warden doing his best to try to keep them topped off, but no, is it going to be enough? Lots of damage dished out and only a freeze spell to shut that thing down. They have finally made it to the back end of the compartment, but at what cost, Itsu? So much damage raining in against these troops. They have finally made it along to the outer edge. 50 seconds left for cleanup, but they are still getting point defenses firing away at them. A couple of Teslas along the outer edge, but with the Warrior Champion ability still left to be used, she is going to throw that shield and knock everything down. Uzi has done it, fires away and does not miss his target. This looks to be like a 3-star to me, Itsu.
That was an impressive attack. Really cool opening, making sure that he's getting this pathing into the Town Hall compartment and then just smashing the base, the Elixir storage being that last remaining building. And well, wow, what an attack. Really nicely done, getting this base out of the way nice and early. And this means we have the first 3-star for this match on the board. But so far, only 1 star and 1% is being the difference in between of those two teams. So still incredible close. We said it earlier, never call a match early. We already had just an incredible comeback of one of those teams. So let's see what is about to happen in those next attacks, because we have still 8 attacks remaining, 4 attacks each for those teams. So a lot of things can still happen, Woody.
That's right. A very slim advantage for Team Zex in terms of overall destruction, but with that additional star up on the board, they are going to be feeling pretty happy about their defensive and offensive victories in the first round here. NON team down, and this is the first time that we've seen a team that is leading the charge down out of the first war. In the first 3 wars that we saw, the first team to attack had the advantage. So now having the disadvantage and having less time to prepare these attacks, NON team are really going to have their work cut out for them as this war continues. The second attack will be coming in next from Pisal, and it's going to be a dragon army. Dragons joined by dragon riders for that skybrid complement. Going to get a little bit of cracking off damage with some rocket balloons as well in that bottom compartment, distracting for this battle blimp as it soars in. But wow, that is a lot of fire coming out. Single target Inferno and the Giga Inferno from the Town Hall activated, as well as defensive CC troops coming on in. Defensive forces are not going to be enough, though, against an invisibility spell to protect these super wizards, zapping so much firepower throughout the base, taking down air defenses and almost finishing off that big bulky clan castle in the mid as well. Pisal's going to be ready for the main stage of the army now to soar on in. It's dragons from the right side, Itsu.
Yeah, dragons are coming in with those dragon riders from the right side. He created nice pathing, and he's going straight into that eagle, which is always one of the most important defenses to be able to take down, considering those dragons, which really like to stack on top of each other. So taking down one of the most dangerous splash damage defenses, taking that out nice and early is always a great thing. The warning ability, take a look at that. So many traps are getting blocked. Red bombs are flying into nothing because this warning ability is covering everything. Really nicely done. But the question now is this going to be enough power to power through the back end, power through the X-bows and the scatter shot? So far it looks good, but there are more traps coming up, Woody, and this is going to be tricky. That scatter shot, is that going to fall, Woody?
Oh no. Scattershot holding on is going to maybe be the end of this attack. Pisal's got lots of support for the troops along the top side with that Grand Warden pathing along to the very top corner of the base. But the downside of dragons is that they don't lock on to defensive structures. The Dragon Riders zeroed in on that scattershot early on, but were not able to take it out. And that is going to be a massive obstacle left for the remaining offensive troops. Early use of the Royal Champion's shield ability there will be able to knock down a few more structures. And hold on, Pisal's holding on to that Archer Queen ability. He's still got a little bit left here with the Rocket Loons making a daring charge for the scatter shot. Oh, misses it! And that is a massive letdown here. Pisal's offense has just taken another charge and missed another big opportunity to wipe out that big defense. So well protected by multiple layers of walls in the core of this base. That is one tough nut to crack, Itsu.
Yeah, but I mean, the dragon and the owl are still alive, and he has 15 seconds left. Can he somehow make this? The scatter shot is trying to shoot as much as he can, but the troops are not really stacking, and this means it is still the 3-star. Really, really good idea. I feel like the Blizzard took down everything he needed and created the pathing for sure for those dragons. A couple of them were a little bit too far on the outside then because the heroes did not find it quick enough. But still, at the end of the day, it is enough power to finish off the backhand of this base. The Scatter tried everything to save this base, but it was not enough to get a defense. So this means they're getting their first 3-star on the board. They're only 1% away from getting this back-to-back 3-star. But it's 1%, and this is the deciding percentage so far. So let's see if we are going to see another 3-star now as the answer. And as we said, going first, having not the lead is something unfortunate, which we have seen most of the time so far. The team's going first, getting that lead early. But is this going to be the story of this one? So far, the match is incredibly close. And I have to say, I'm looking forward to see what strategy we are going to see next, coming into this next attack right away. and we're going to witness another Dragon Rider attack strategy against this setup of a base, which is going to be quite interesting. The NATO trap, and this NATO might be a game changer and rotate those Super Wizards away from the Town Hall.
Great finishing shot there from NON team. I was worried off of their first 2-star strike that one last defense would once again hold up. But even with 2 misses, the 3rd shot got the job done. 3rd time's the charm, they say, Itsu. And so now it's back to Team Zex to try to keep the pressure going. A good, strong early strike with the 3 stars and following up with a really heavy-handed hit against the Town Hall compartment there. Doesn't take the Town Hall down, but it will activate and take out a lot of the defenses surrounding that bottom side of the base. Big damage also peeled off of both of those heroes, but they're left standing, and that makes me wonder whether SQU from Zex got the value that he needed out of that early strike, Itsu.
No, the Town Hall not going down is incredible bad for him, and it's going to be tricky to come back from that one. The only good thing for him is that the right side, is quite open, which means his heroes have a lot of power pushing through this part of the base, and now a lot of dragons are splitting off. The Warden is not following them, so they're going to die kind of quickly. There's the freeze. The Town needs to go down. There's the Royal Champion. Is he going to get that Town? That's the big question. The top side is getting raged up again. The Warden is still not getting used. The Warden ability not even used yet. When is he going to use it? Maybe he is going to save the Warden ability for the next attack. Who knows? But the Town is going down, and this is already the 2nd star. But percentage-wise, this attack is not looking good, Woody.
Yeah, the split up of the troops is another thing he's gonna maybe regret toward the end of this hit. He's got a couple of dragons on the bottom, and they're actually quite well insulated. There's a ground targeting expo, a cannon that they can easily lock onto without any threat at all. But the Eagle artillery in the center has just been pounding away for the entirety of this raid, and once again, SQU is having a little bit of trouble taking down the core of this base. He's had troops spread out and pincer all the way around, but that is not exactly what you want from dragons. You want to concentrate that fire as best you can, and so being pushed away by a sweeper and burnt up by an Inferno Tower, the last stage of this hit is just going to be those heroes along the bottom side. Barbarian King charges in, but he is also going to get a 3rd-degree burn. Inferno Tower knocks him apart. 25 seconds left for cleanup, and even if they take this core down, there's a couple of Teslas along the outer edge that could slow things down and deny the triple. So SQU had a good plan here, but yeah, Teslas might be the end of it when it comes down to it, Itsu.
Yeah, it's the time, which is the deciding factor on this one. It's 5 seconds left. The Warden is flying across. The Queen is trying to run, but she's not fast enough. And this means we have the first defense as well. It's going to be a 97%, which means now the difference is not based on stars anymore. It is only the percentage, which is the difference at this point. So, incredible close match and a back and forth in between of those two. It's 5-5. And only a couple of percentage being the difference maker. But hey, there are more attacks to come, so I'm super excited to see how close the finish will be, because those two teams, so far from everything which we have seen of today, are by far the closest teams based on those first couple of attacks.
Yeah, I mean, when you start out behind like NON team did with a 2-star strike, you gotta feel a little bit iffy about that hit. But all of a sudden, it's starting to look pretty good now. A 2-star 99% means the NON team will hold on to the lead now in that tiebreaker overall destruction. And they are back into, finally, a position where they are ahead of Team Zex. This is actually the first time that they've been ahead in this war so far. And so Boy Run will try to take this relay the distance, taking that baton and moving in hard against this next base with a Queen charge along the bottom edge, holding on to those healers for a little bit of Coconut Loon sweeping along that bottom edge, trying to find any Seeking Air Mine. Doesn't encounter any just yet, but he will get to maybe move in against that Eagle artillery with the 2nd stage of this hit. Unfortunately for those healers, going to take some fire from the air defense. That forces out an early freeze and another balloon to try to keep them safe, knocking it down, but spinning a lot early on here by Boy Run.
Yeah, the healer switch is not the greatest either. Like, they're splitting up in between of the King and the Queen. Now the King actually beat through that wall with the Yak together. The Queen now following through. The healers are finally back on that Queen to keep her alive. A couple of the clan cast troops already came out, so it's the question, where is he going to go next? I mean, he has 2 more wall breaks, so where is he going to try to wall break? Is he trying to get the wall break into the town direction, or is the plan somewhat different? There's the connection wall break. There's the rest of the clan cast come out. He needs to be careful. There's the freeze. Oh, no! Okay, Queen is staying alive. I was just getting too ahead of myself. So, Woody, Dragon Riders just started.
Here they come, but man, that Eagle Artillery still standing up is going to be a big target. Boy Run drops the Royal Champion, and that Lassie going to take it down first thing and foremost. Trying to avoid as much damage as he can, he pops the Grand Warden Eternal Tome to protect those Dragon Riders from that big fire raining down. Mid-time on the left side, that Eagle, or that Archer Queen is taking a lot of damage from the multi-target Inferno. Raged up healers are not enough to keep her healthy, and that is going to be the end of her charge. Dragon Riders in the center now, protected by that Grand Warden, spreading out and taking a lot of damage. Single target Inferno, well insulated by walls in the top compartment, is going to burn up the last one. And that's just about it for this attack now. Itsu Boy Run is going to be left short of the 3 stars by quite a big margin. That percentage destruction by NON team is falling all the way down into the low 90s now after this 3rd hit.
Yeah, like, just the entry, seeing the Queen going not as planned, everything was quite an unfortunate start. Like, it is not easy to come back from starts like this. I mean, we see this as well with like other type of attack strategies where the heroes do not what they're supposed to do, or how they how you plan out the attack, and then coming back from this is never an easy thing. He tried to save it the best way possible he could, but it was not enough at the end. So a really good defense. Now on this side, which means we might have yet again another change in the team is actually having the lead. But I mean, so far it's a non-stop back and forth in between of those 2 teams. But if we're getting it 3-star now, then we finally have a team which is slowly pulling ahead, because then we might have a star lead and percentage lead as well. So looking forward to the next attack. If it's, though, yet again a 2-star, this match is just staying close, and this is what it so far looks like.
Well, I like to think about the planning for this attack from a lore perspective as if you are the chief, the one general responsible for deployment of your troops. But ultimately, once they're out on the battlefield, they are fighting a fight of their own, and you don't have a whole lot to say about which way they go or what they do, just to give them any spell support you can and encourage the use of abilities to protect them from those big defenses. And in the end, that is going to be a big letdown for NON team, now dropped to 92.3% average destruction, and an opportunity for Soichi from Team Zex to move back and ahead up toward that Eagle Artillery will be the first step along that way. It's going to be a Sui charge for these heroes on the bottom corner of the base. Taking out the Eagle Artillery is a big step up, and if they manage to take out a multi or even that enemy Archer Queen, both of those would be big advantages as well. Soichi is defending as best he can those troops along the bottom, but they are just going to have to get burnt up. Archer Queen does not go for the multi-target Inferno, and that means that that's going to be another big obstacle for troops that are left along that right side corner. Dragons and balloons getting some battle blip support, but ouch! A big Seeking Air Mine lands right on a Dragon Rider, Itsu.
Are we going to see the clone super minions? Yes, there we... No, wait. Wow. Yes, there we go. There are the clone super minions trying to take down the town hall. This is like something which we don't see that often. But if it works, it looks so cool. The town hall is about to fall. There we go. Town hall is down. And now the question obviously is this enough power to make it to the back? And the Seeking Inferno Tower is going down as well. But the dragons were slowly dying out. The Royal Champion was sent in early as well to take down the Muta Inferno Tower, which did survive the entry push. So far, yet again, this looks like a defense we were talking about if one of the teams can pull ahead. But this so far is not looking as promising. Percentage-wise, though, it's looking better than what we have just seen before. Or is it actually 72%? The Warden is trying his best, but the Dragon at the top side is dying as well. On the bottom side, we have that minion working. But to be honest, the percentage is not that great, which means, I mean, yet again, the match has changed with like which team has the lead overall. So both teams are staying so close to each other score-wise, and this is going to be a 75% defense. I mean, I like the approach. I like the idea of bringing this clone super minion blimp, but I mean, it did not work out this time at least.
Oh no! Minion at the last chance had a chance to try to get that percentage topped off, but when we look at the scoreline now, NON and Zex are pretty much neck and neck. 7-7 stars count, but NON team will hold that slim advantage in overall destruction. I gotta say, I don't really have a favorite in the match at this point, and that's pretty uncommon for having seen 3 attacks already from both teams. When we teed this war off, we said that 14 stars would probably be the decisive victory for either squad, but that's going to be out of reach now for both of them. A perfect war from this point out would lead them with a maximum of 13. So we might just wind up seeing this going down to a tiebreaker. Itsu? Sam will be the next attacker for NON. He's going to be coming back with Queen Charge Dragon Riders. But big offensive misses for both of these squads so far. The base is holding up quite well, even against impressive aerial attacks. Queen Charge really taking a beating early on here. But with the rage spell out, that should be enough to get her topped back off and healthy again. Sam takes a bit of a risk early on with this deploy, but with the log launcher moving in next, he's going to get some nice damage against those walls and even chipping in against that Royal Champion. CC streaming out is going to get an expertly placed poison to support, and with a Seeking Air Mine landing on that balloon, those healers should be relatively safe for the second stage of the strike. Itsu.
Yeah, and then are the Ice Golems and the Loons coming out of the clan castle, but at the same time the Queen has a lot. Oh wait, the Queen is actually getting lured into the opening from that defending Royal Champion. She still has to follow those Ice Golems. So far the Queen is not really going for the tunnel, is she though? Yeah, okay, she's stepping into the tunnel compartment, which is great news for him. The Dragon Rider is out at the top side. He has a couple of spells left to keep his Queen alive, to keep this push going at the top side. There are the add-ons as well for the defending King. Warden ability is keeping everything safe, trying to take down the defending heroes, but a lot of Black Mines as well are getting blocked with that Warden ability, which is clutch. Tunnels going down for the second star in just a couple of seconds. The King is tanking so much on the outside. Archer Towers, Expo, everything is getting tanked by this King. Queen though, the Queen is in a lot of problems with that Tower of Poison and this Inferno Tower.
Nice.
This is not going to be easy to survive, Woody.
Still, he drops that invisibility spell, trying to give his healers a little bit of a chance to top her back off. Doesn't get the job done, though, and she's going to have to force out that ability. Sam has really carved an excellent path with this Queen, though, and has still got a lot of support troops along the left side corner to make the final path down toward the bottom. Queen ought to be able to take out the remaining defenses, and that's going to be it. We just have to go into cleanup now, and he's going to hold on to an extra swag invisibility swell. Wow, that Barbarian King did a great job along the outer edge, supporting and defending, rocking out with a COC shout. That is going to be all she wrote as Sam from NON team gets that big strike that his squad was looking for. 10 stars total now, and keeping that average destruction ahead. NON team have done almost all that you can expect from them. I mean, that's all you can expect is a 3-star hit. So they're going to be remaining ahead in the lead now with a difficult run for Team Zex ahead of them.
Yeah, it's I mean, to be honest, they have everything now in their own hands. If they go into 3-star yet again after this next attack, they're going to win no matter what the other team is about to do. But on the other side, obviously Team Zex wants to keep staying inside this match, so everything what they have to do is keep 3-starring and hoping for a defense. That's the only thing which they can do, which is not a great position to be in, and it feels kind of like demotivating as well when you're like in a position where on your own, like whatever you do, like you could go perfect, you could do like everything you could, but still you do not have it in your own hands. So it's a tricky situation to be in. Let's see how they can handle this pressure wise, mindset wise, because they have 2 more attacks to do. Their next attack should happen any second now, hopefully. And well, strategy wise, they have to go in with something different maybe than the clone super minions. It's a kind of like a fun and like a meme strategy, but I don't know if that's the best strategy to go in with. in this current state of the tournament, because the winner is going to get into the playoffs, and there's a lot of money on the line, Woody.
Yeah, thousands of dollars and that silver wildcard ticket for the Clash of Clans Worlds. This is not a match that any team would want to throw away without a big fight. Now, both NON team and Team Zex had scored 13 stars each in their past 2 matches. So that indicates to me that they're holding pretty strong in that hit rate around 60%. NON team, however, with only 2 out of the 4 hits so far this war as 3 stars, might suggest that Team Zex's defenses are holding up a bit stronger than they have in past matches. Team Zex still has a solid shot at this, especially if they're feeling confident about that 5th and final base. We've mentioned before that the planning for that 5th attack gets lots more time for setup, but it also kind of indicates that it seems that NON team feels like that 5th base requires the most time to prepare against. It might be the trickiest attack that they have. So, in my opinion, this is still a wide open war. The advantage is in NON team's side of the court right now, but this is not decided yet by any means whatsoever. Let's give Team Zex the honor and respect that they deserve, as Rita will be the 4th attacker now, trying to find a Laloon strike to keep Zex in the strong position that they had started this war out with.
Yeah, he is barely getting that blimp over the wall. You can see how close it was, but it got over the wall. Is he going to get the scatter as well, which would be great value? Wow. Yes, there we go. Scatter is out as well. Clan casters get loot as well, at least a couple of them. And now it's all about this follow-up. There were a couple of troops coming out, headhunters and archers. Question now, though, is what are the troops which are still left in there? If there are more headhunters in there, this might be bad news for him. But as well, time-wise, he needs to make sure that time is not taking too long for him to engage on this base. He has 1 warbreaker, which he's going to use on that wizard tower. And with this, he has access to a big part of the base. Having the access to the Inferno Tower, having the access to a lot of expos, and then obviously being able to maybe start this Lalo from the right side, right into that eagle. This is what it looks like so far. The king is not really knowing where to go. Still not really knowing where to go. Now, finally has decided to go into the core of this base. And the Royal Gem is getting added over there as well.
Well, those heroes have got a great lane opened up for them, hopping over walls and knocking down as many of those big defenses that they can. 1 scatter shot was finished off, and another invisibility spell here, and another freeze spell now shuts down the enemy scatter shot, and the Archer Queen Royal Champion doing her best to get through these skeletons, but that's a lot of bones packing up, and she does not finish off that scatter shot. Big defensive pickup for the Undertaker of NON team. Meanwhile, Rita is hasting through the right side compartment, taking down as many Teslas as he can. But boom, that big hit on the Eagle Artillery is what he was really looking forward to. Protection from the Grand Warden's Eternal Tome will keep those balloons on path against the last remaining air defense. They have got a lot of work left to do in the center of this base with a multi-target Inferno getting frozen. Another haste spell going down. Boom! Big air bomb explodes on the pack of balloons, but they only have 1 big target left. The scatter shot is eliminated, and that looks like it's all she wrote. Rita's gonna get that 3rd star on this 4th attack, and Team Zex are rallying, finding that 1 big chance that they were looking for.
That attack was impressive. Really, really good Blizzard, followed up by a great hero part, and then the Lalo looked so easy. And this means they did everything they had to do. Getting in the next 3 star as well is keeping this match so close. And I mean, yes, we said already, we have the team having everything in their own hands, the NON team, but on the other side, if they're not going to 3 star, this match is wide open because it is so close to Woody.
Yeah, I mean, there's a certain sort of empowerment about knowing that a triple here and now will win the war for you. But on the other hand, missing out on that 3 stars means that you very may well lose the entire war. It's kind of a do or die moment for NON team, and they've only got a 50% hit rate so far in this war, so it is not decisive by any means. A 1.3 average destruction advantage is not tiny, but it's not large either. It is definitely something that Team Zex could overcome. Even if both of these teams get 2 star showings, NON team would not be in a comfortable position. So really anything short of a 3-star here by the Undertaker would be a difficult position for InnoWin. But maybe true to his name, the Undertaker rarely takes a loss, and he is eager to finish this thing off with his opponents 6 feet under. So let's see if he can finalize this war, earn InnoWin team the last spot in the Clash Masters playoffs for that big prize pool awaiting next week. It has all come down to this, Itsu.
Yeah, and that's with quite an interesting approach, because typically we see those Queen Charge Dragon Rider attacks, right? But this time around, though, he's bringing the Queen Charge, but he is bringing the Dragons and Dragon Riders. Like, this is not like a common approach. Like, this is not something which you would see quite often. Instead, you see either Queen Charge Dragons, which are really, really rare and not that common, or you see the Queen Charge Dragon Rider strategy, which is so common in the current meta. But this combination is going to be interesting to see and how it's going to work out. So far, the Queen is doing a great job of pushing inside this compartment. Yes, no more wall breakers left, which means this Queen is now relying on taking as much as he could. And the double scatter shot is kind of like a big threat to his Queen, but where is he going to start with those Dragons and Dragon Riders? At the bottom left or at the top right side? Where is it going to be? And nope, it's going to be from the bottom side into that town direction. The sweeper is not pointing in that direction, which is great for him. And this Queen! That was just a little bit close.
Shielded by her royal cloak, she will turn invisible once again, but those poor healers have been annihilated, taken down by air bombs. She now has no more support and has already used the ability. Will there be another spell out to help her out? No, the Undertaker's going to sacrifice his Queen and now has a really difficult time marching toward that left side corner. That Town Hall should be going down for a clear and decisive 2-star. Dragon Rider's still looking very strong, but they are getting burnt up. 2 air defenses remain on this base, and multi-target Infernos are going to be dishing out maximum damage. Boom! Big air bomb and a Seeking Air Mine explode on the Dragon Rider. Boom! Another Seeking Air Mine takes it down, Itsu.
Yeah, like this blimp not reaching the Town Hall, and this means the Tower Poison was able to deal so much damage. The question still is this enough firepower for the backhand? Because the Dragons, remember, they're still alive. The Dragon Riders already taking some of the traps out of the game, and now we have the last Dragon Rider. If it's going to be able to take down the elephants, that will be huge, and the elephants is going down. But Woody, take a look at the time. Do you think this is going to be enough? It's going to be so close.
I don't know, he's running low on time, but those dragons are awfully big. Breathing fire on the last remaining structures. They don't have a long way to go, but no! Sinking Air Mine takes one down. Tesla pops up and finishes another off. That is gonna be it. The Undertaker has been repelled. Soichi from Team Zex has done it. Defense is holding off with a 2-star 96%. InnoWin team hold an advantageous position now. They are ahead on average destruction with 94.6%. They hold 12 mighty stars in their grasp. But the opportunity awaits for Team Zex. A 3-star showing could be the end. Would be the end. Team Zex would get the win. I don't know if it's possible for Team Zex to win on percentage. They would be able to get a few more points up there, but it would be an awfully close race, Itsu.
Yeah, they have to 3-star to win this matchup. This is the only thing. Like, a 3-star, and they're going to win and get into the playoffs, get into this top 8 position, and have the chance of winning thousands of dollars, and obviously the silver ticket for the Clash of Clans World Championship. But at the same time, they have to 3-star because everything less, and they are going to drop out of the competition. So let's see, the last attack is about to start, and we have a Dragon Rider attack with some lightnings, with some rages, with a heal spell as well in the mix. And I have to say, I'm looking forward to see what exactly he's going for. Maybe the core multi-inferno tower, maybe that's his goal. We're going to see just in a couple of seconds, Woody. And this one is everything on the line.
Right, you are, and if my calculations are correct, even a 3-star by Team Zex would put them at an average destruction of 94.4% behind the total destruction by NON team. That means they need a triple. There is nothing short of that will advance them on. Big lightning strike right next to the town hall takes down an air sweeper and a single target inferno, opening up a dragon rider hit from the very top corner if he so chooses. Takana has brought 6 Dragon Riders to this attack. Big, heavy opening that eschews the healers that typically are accompanying such a big defensive targeting assault. He's going to take a big chunk out of this base, but keep an eye at the center. Multi-target Inferno and an Air Sweeper are going to be hard for these attackers to reach and might be the last remaining structures. No! Archer Queen takes down that Air Sweeper, and with just the multi-target Inferno in the center, Takana gets a big leg up along the last possibly targeting defense in the game. World Champion's going to go all over on the right side, but will target the middle instead. And with this spread, Takana has got a solid shot at the triple he needs, Itsu.
Yeah, but he's still waiting with that warden ability. When is he going to use it? Now the warden ability. But it was a split second too late, which means the first Dragon Rider is about to fall due to the Black Mine. And now the Royal Champion is following as well. We have the Dragon Riders pushing through. There's one air defense at the back end. It's over 1 minute left, so time is not going to be the issue. The Headhunters are tanking the scatter shot. I mean, both Dragon Riders are pretty much at 0 hit points, but the Headhunters
There's 4 of them though, Itsu. Don't forget the 2 at the top.
There is so many.
4 Dragon Riders still remain. Takana readies his blade. The final strike sends in the last Dragon Riders, and with an incredible, overwhelming showing, drops down the final defenses. Itsu, it looks like he's done it. Time remaining for cleanup is 40 seconds, and the troops are spread thin, but the buildings are also withering away. The last bit of offense crushing in, and time is on his side. He has got this one in the bag, and Team Zex will move on. The final playoff contenders for Clash Masters. Congratulations on their final showing here. Takana has done it. He sends in the final strike, twists the blade, and with it, a removal of their opponents. NON team are sent packing as Team Zex, the last best hope for the streaming community, will continue an impressive performance, moving on right alongside the other 3 teams that moved on here today: Alternate Attacks, Aphelion Esports, and Repotted Gaming. If I'm not wrong, that's 3 teams from Germany that moved on. Is that right?
Wait, let's take a look at the bracket and figure out what exactly today happened, because today is not the last day of the competition. We have one more day tomorrow, and yeah, we have Alternate and Repotted from Germany. I mean, Alternate being an international team actually, but yeah, those are going to be the 4 teams joining up the already existing 4 teams which already made it to the playoffs, which means this is the final 8. But tomorrow we're going to play for the seeding, because I mean, right now we don't really know how the matchup looks like, and that's why we want to have the seeding for those 4 teams, and that's exactly what they're playing for tomorrow in the next stream. And Woody, that is something no one wants to miss.
Right, you are, Itsu. Well, the leaderboard has finally been set. We have got 8 teams competing in the Clash Masters playoffs, and they have all been chosen. The 4 that made it to the semifinals today, as well as the 4 who had the best performance from the first 3 weeks of the Clash Masters qualifiers. The prize money on the line for the playoffs next week is huge, and as well as that Clash of Clans World Championship Silver wildcard ticket for the winning team. This is certainly a very interesting event to follow and watch. These 4 teams remaining will go off again tomorrow for seeding, as you mentioned, Itsu. And they certainly want to do the best job that they can to avoid having to face off against the highest ranked teams from the Clash Masters leaderboard. 4 clans remain, and we expect even more great wars tomorrow. We hope that you'll stay tuned with us by following on our social media pages over on Instagram and on Twitter, and make sure to follow us here as well. Keep apprised of all the developments in the Clash Masters universe, and let us know your thoughts on the matches today. We will keep an eye out for that and be sure to share more with you in the days to come. But the playoffs are now shaping up quite beautifully. All of our teams have been selected, and It's been great casting again with you today. It's really appreciate it. What are your final thoughts?
I'm just looking forward to tomorrow. We have seen so many cool matches today. Looking forward to how the playoff bracket is going to look like after tomorrow, because tomorrow we're going to play all of those seeding matches, which means we're going to have this final bracket then around for the playoffs and see how those groups shape up, because we're going to explain obviously the playoff system then tomorrow again, and how everything is going to happen moving forward, because we still have an amazing playoff phase ahead of us in the next couple of weeks. So yeah, I'm just super excited to see more matches, Woody, and I cannot wait for being tomorrow.
Awesome. Well, thanks very much for everyone who tuned in. Thank you very much to the players and clans who competed today and put up such an amazing fight. We have got some more great Clash Masters action very shortly. Hope that you'll stay with us in the days and weeks to come, as we have great prizes to hand out and a lot of clans to celebrate their showing. So thanks for tuning in today, and we'll see you again later.